the Ace podcast where we talk all things art, culture, and entertainment, but more specifically pop culture entertainment. We were gone for a little bit because we have some interesting and exciting things to discuss. We did a pre-show, which I'll probably post at a later time just because I think it was a very interesting and engaging conversation.
we
But
had
yeah,
deep.
with me today, we're doing a two-man show just because just organizing and everything, and with what I have planned for the future, because I think I am going to actually start taking those opportunities and reaching out to some people to be other guests. But we got Aaron.
Yo, what's up, guys? Good to be back. We got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. We have some stories, some experiences to share with you guys from our past week.
Yeah. Yeah, so okay. Where do we want to start? We want to start with the long stuff and end with the shorter stuff, maybe?
Long stuff, short stuff. Yeah, it seems like a good plan, a good approach.
Okay. Let's talk about our weeks. We both were in New York we made it through Comic-Con. Aaron, you were there a little bit longer than I was, but we were both kind of just taking I believe a mutually much needed vacation. It was your first time in New York. It's I haven't been in New York since 2019, which I have that vlog still up somewhere on my YouTube channel. But yeah, we got to partake in NYCC. We met a lot of cool people, made some new friends, hopefully some that'll be able to be guests on the show, have some future fun conversation about art and pop culture and mental health and shit like that. But yeah, I mean, where do we want to start? Because funny enough, we were trying to make it into panels and stuff. Didn't really work out. But
Didn't happen.
by proxy, we wound up making some new friends, which I think is all the better. But yeah, I mean, what do we want to talk about from New York, other than my car accident?
Oh yeah, jeez, dude, your freaking car accident. Oh man,
that was how my vacation started.
Yeah. The great start, people meeting money orders. We had some great chicken and waffles, some trash chicken and waffles.
Yes, we did.
A lot of alcohol.
Yes. Jesus, there's a lot of alcohol that weekend. Oh my God.
Oh man, it was a great one though. I feel like, it was good to be back in the con space. I know you've been to a couple cons this year, prior to New York, but yeah, this is my first con since SDCC 2019. And yeah, the people came out in full force, a lot of dope cosplays, as you know, or if you don't know, in the cosplay community, you see different variety of stuff from like TV shows, comic books, movies, even
anime, games, stuff like that.
Right. At the time of recording this, the show Squid Game is fairly new, fairly recent, and you already see people turning around cosplays for that show, which was pretty incredible to see. We got to see stuff from like Midsommar. You got to see some like black and white Wandas from WandaVision. Yeah, just a lot of cool stuff all around. Met some cool people. Yeah, I think that the interesting thing for me about going to New York Comic Con is the fact that New York in and of itself is already a very lively city. You already see a lot of characters, whether it is a con or not a con. So I felt like all of the con related stuff was very much kept within the vicinity of the convention center. And whereas my experience with SDCC, whereas all the surrounding city that is like within a close range, or like maybe like 2, 3, 4 blocks out from the con, also becomes Comic-Con. But yeah, we saw, got to pick up some good items, some valued purchases, if you will. And yeah, man, I think
we got some nice little trinkets.
Nice little merch. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Got to link with someone who's now one of my favorite artists, but he's been one of your favorite artists.
Yes, Nikolas Draper-Ivey, current artist on Static. which I actually just picked up. I believe issue 3. I think issue 4 is coming out soon, so I need to hit my store and pick that up. But yeah, he's fantastic conversation. we
Yeah.
we were just talking for hours. I was initially going just to get one of my issues signed and talk with him a little bit. And who knows, we might be able to have him on the show, get his thoughts, especially with the return of Milestone, which we'll kind of get to a tiny bit later in the show. But
Yeah.
yeah,
We were
he's
supposed
working.
to
Yeah, go ahead.
we're supposed to go to a panel. We're supposed to go to a couple panels and just go have a quick like pop in and go kind of thing to go get his stuff signed for Will, because he's been a huge fan of him for a while, and we ended up staying there for like at his booth for like a couple hours, and there were even points where like like other people like interject, because obviously he's like someone who works for DC in the industry, and like he'd be like, hold on, stay there guys, because we're in the middle of a conversation. They end up going to get lunch with him and stuff. We're getting dinner, and that was a pretty cool experience for New York and for the con. But what were we gonna say?
Oh no, I was just going over some of the other stuff that he's worked on. But yeah, he does Static. He did the Black Panther album cover. He has a project called Dream Vesper, which is very, very interesting. Yeah, just all around extremely talented, super duper cool, really nice. Currently recovering from a eye surgery. Yeah, he has a bunch of other projects that he's worked on in the past. Just all around really cool. He's done some variants and stuff like that. Just a cool ass guy, and I'm trying to keep an eye on that. If you're not a fan, definitely look him up. It might trip you up. It's Nikolas Nikolas Draper-Ivey. And I'll probably like put his stuff in the description and everything so people can check him out. But yeah, just all around great guy to meet. We also met a couple other people. I have to find their names. I know we met the creator of Harriet Tubman Demon Slayer. I believe his name is D Crownson, but I forget what the D stands for. I believe it's David. But I mean, what are some of your other, while I look up these names, some of your other kind of standouts and takeaways from the con? Because overall, I thought it was a relatively positive experience. There's a lot to see exhibit wise, a lot to do photography wise, a lot of the interesting thing I'd say is that the list of actual events and panels was a little smaller.
A lighter side.
Yeah, Dave Crownson. That's the name, David Crownson.
Yeah, I think because of the circumstances of just our things surrounding the con, I feel like as far as events and panels goes, we didn't get to too many of those. We found out afterwards that they actually had a Ghostbusters panel in which they had a secret drop of the whole movie. So that was something that. So they did. There was some bigger stuff there, but I think most of our stuff was either in the convention or like the exhibit hall or artist alley. I would say one highlight for me was I got to participate in a trivia for Doom Patrol, like a little trivia center, because like at some of these bigger conventions, I can only speak for like LA Comic Con, New York Comic Con, Anime Expo, right, and now NYCC. Those are the only 4 cons I've been to. But there was outdoor activities outside of the con, and one of them was was something that was alluding to stuff within season 3 of Doom Patrol, and it was like this truck outside. It was supposed to be Danny the Street, and it was like trivia with this person in drag, and they were asking us questions and whatnot. And I was so confident that I knew the answer to one of these questions because the person who'd gone before me had a question that I knew the answer to. And funny enough, I wasn't even in the surrounding area to answer the question at first. I was just walking by and I heard the question. I was like, I know the answer to that. So then I go over. What'd you say?
You were in earshot.
Exactly. I was in earshot. And I heard it, and then I go over to the little area where they're asking the questions, and I was like, I know it. I know the answer. And the person was still answering the question, like, do you want to phone a friend? And they got it wrong. And then the guy came up to me, and I was like my semi Batman cosplay. And then I answered it. They're like, oh, well, do you want to answer a question next? And I'm like, I would gladly answer a question. So they asked me, what was the town that lives next to the Doom Manor? And like I couldn't remember to save my life. And then this other guy, he was like, I know the answer. So then they're like, do you want to phone a friend? And I was like, sure. So then he got it, and he got the correct answer. And then from there, the host was like, well, in the spirit of the con, would you like to give your prize to the guy who got your question? And I was like, yes, I will give him my prize. And then he got to answer another question, and I think he got that one right. They're like, in the spirit of the con, do you want to give Batman your prize? And he's like, man, I've been standing here all day, but I'll do it. I'll give Batman my prize. And then because of the generosity, they end up giving both of us a t-shirt. So that was really cool. Yeah. So now I have my yellow Doom Patrol t-shirt sitting right next to me on my desk as a memory of, even though I didn't get the answer right, the spirit of generosity and of kindness won out that day. So that was my little 2 cents from the con.
The lesson is
in my
to
experience.
be kind to others.
Be kind, be excellent to one another.
Exactly. But I think one of my favorite things was finding the just happening upon the Boondocks booth. And that was real. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, I don't care what the price is. I'm buying something from here because this table will, it's like Rainbow Road. It's just never gonna appear again. It's just like, damn. All right. Yeah, just going around is like that. Meeting Nick. There's another artist we met, Rae Comics, RAE. So I'll have to add everybody into the detail of this episode to make sure people check him out. But yeah, it's another person that's like uplifting people within like Black and other underrepresented comic creation communities. But met some cool people, fantastic artists. The city itself was fun. We went to the ice cream museum, had a lot of ice cream, took a bunch of photos for the Insta of Grams.
Photos, videos.
Yeah, got
memories galore.
Got plenty of great memories, great events, great sights, sounds, bagels, chicken,
brunch.
Oh, brunch. Oh, brunch. Oh, brunch. Do we want to talk about brunch before we talk about Fandome?
Shit, we can talk about brunch for a little bit.
Brunch. God damn, brunch. Oh. When we got the receipts, I'm like, nah, this is fair.
You can tell we had a great time at brunch.
So boom, it's you, me. It was supposed to additionally be my friend Nina, but my other friend Anuli made it out. You know, she's super dope. Another cosplayer. She's also part of Land Party. If y'all don't know them, they're a dope crew up in New York doing their own thing. Also in the pop culture space, they do gaming, they do anime, they do nerd shit. Really cool, really cool. I've ran into them I think once or twice at BlurredCon. But yeah, so we got brunch at this one spot. I've been trying to plan this brunch on and off for a couple weeks, and we have finally settled on a space like the day before. And we're like, cool. So it's like this hole in the wall somewhere. It's like a 15-minute walk from our hotel. It was raining. I stepped out. I'm like, oh, let me look nice or whatever. And just like, that was a flop. But we ended up going there. And they had a DJ at brunch. And, you know, we're having our food, you know, mimosas, talking to one another. You know, Aaron, this is your first time meeting Anuli, and just introducing people, friends making friends. And we got people next to us. And then the shit is just turned all the way the fuck up. It is just lit. Just good energy. Everybody's having fun. They're playing nothing but straight bangers. Our cups aren't empty.
Banger after banger. Right. No, you said they serve mimosas. No. So mimosas like wine, or like, was it champagne and orange juice? They're serving us rum punch.
We had the option for mimosas and we said no. We asked for rum punch.
And
they had 2 jugs and they told us to pick one.
Right. So I'm naturally a fast drinker. Like whatever, I'm a fast
true.
drinker and a fast eater. So like whenever I get something to consume, it is gone. Like
Right.
you have minutes to catch me, or it'll be devoured. So
Right.
all of us we're drinking at like a reasonable pace. So you would get halfway, not even halfway, up through your rum punch, and they would come and refill it instantly. Like they would, like the Flash family or something. So
Right. That cup almost looks empty.
no. But yeah, you had an observation when we were drinking, as we got more drunk and got turned and consumed our chicken and waffles, which was highly delicious.
Oh, it was great.
About
Actually, I almost got full eating the no, I did get full eating the chicken waffles. I was like, Jesus, this shit is thick.
No, yeah, it was pretty fire. It was pretty amazing. But yeah, they never filled our waters. Only the alcohol.
They never refilled. They never refilled our water cups.
Yeah, like, oh no, you staying dehydrated today, motherfucker.
Right.
That's what they said.
Right. Damn.
Right, like you're gonna be walking out of here woozy.
We were standing outside having a full conversation. Pretty sure 50% intoxicated.
Oh yeah. We didn't come down from being, we wouldn't get sober till like 6 hours later. Like we were still like feeling alcohol. Like that's how much we consumed. And it was dope. It was a good time.
Yeah, it was a fantastic beverage. Fantastic time. Everybody had fun. Took plenty of videos and took pictures. All looked good. Yeah, it was I don't know. Is there anything else that you want to mention about New York? All around, it was a great time. My finances are slowly recovering. Thank God I got paid this week. It's damn.
Yeah, no, for real. I was like,
I checked my card.
I was there for.
No, this tracks. This is what I was expecting.
Yeah, I was there for 10 days, and like luckily I came out was still something to eat when I got there. I had money to feed myself, so that was good.
Right.
pay my bills and expenses when I got back. I'm like, okay, that's a successful trip right there. Got to have as much fun and still okay afterwards. But I will say that something that was prevalent at the con that I was out of the loop of, but I didn't get the chance to fully experience until I got back home, was the Squid Game, which is a hell of an experience, hell of a ride.
We're talking about Squid Game?
Yeah, let's talk about the game.
It's a good transition. Yeah, so we'll do full spoilers because it's been out for a couple weeks. Damn, I gotta start that just dropped. But,
oh yeah,
the new season. But so Squid Game is presently, I think, #1 on Netflix. It's its longest running #1, I believe, in present history. For I want to say 3 weeks straight, but it's a Korean co-production between Netflix and Korea. Dude's been trying to get. He had this script for it, I believe, done in 2009. So he was shopping around for the better part of 10 years.
Oh wow, I know that.
Produced. But Squid Game is about, what is it, 456 people in Korea that are all in some level of financial woes, have to survive a week, or they have to survive 6 games to potentially win a what I guess technically you could call a Deadpool, but it's just like this giant tub, this obscene amount of money, and I believe for each person there, each head is worth 100,000. I believe the currency is called won. So, and there's it's all about how many games you end up completing, and once you get through the first game, you realize it's a game of death. Of course, heavy critiques on like the nature of society, desperation, capitalism, stuff like that. But so we'll get into spoilers for the show. So spoiler warning for if you haven't seen Squid Game, which you should. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great show. Did you watch it subbed or dubbed?
Real. I watched it dubbed.
Okay, I did.
I know a lot of people get on you for watching it dubbed and like you gotta watch
I
it
told them
subbed.
to
And
kiss my ass.
right.
I
I'm
like
just
my
like
dub.
I understood. I followed the show. Like the dub didn't bother me. I felt like they did a pretty decent job of
I thought it was
casting
pretty
voice
damn good.
actors. Yeah, I thought it was good. I was like, they did a good job of casting voice actors that
Yeah.
fit the tonality of the Korean actors that were being displayed on screen. Like I feel like they did a good job.
Nice.
A couple of lines were a little weird, but outside of those couple of
Every now
lines,
and then.
it was pretty good. Yeah, like especially with I can't remember homegirl's name, but like the one who was trying to hook up with the gangster. Like some of her
the
lines were a
lady-
little
oh,
off.
dude. Yeah, but I think it kind of fits just because she's wacky anyways. Like she's a little
That's
extra.
true.
So, cause like the performance itself, like I didn't hear it in its native Korean, but based off the physicality of the performance, I'm like, no, it kind of fit. But
It tracks.
oh, don't you think I'm such a beautiful little girl? And I'm like, ooh, this bitch is crazy.
Grandmother or like
Grandma, I'm the
Yeah.
one, Granny. I mean, attractive young lady. That's better, honey. I'm like, she sounded like a damn anime villain. Is what she sounded like.
right. I'm like, okay, but yeah, no, I felt like the voice acting never took me out of it, which is just
No.
a testament to, even though it's not word verbatim of the show, but I feel like the general writing of the plot and the characters still translated, even if it wasn't word for word. So I think the quality wasn't hindered by the conversion of the language.
Yeah, not at all. I don't think it diminished it in any sort of regard. You know, some like I would much rather hear the show than have to read through it. And as someone that, you know, I just finished Yu Yu Hakusho recently, which I might talk about that later because fucking amazing. God damn, like I'd seen some of it as a kid, but you know, talking about dubs, that's another show that has a pretty damn good dub. A couple characters are a little wonky, but are on great. So it's like dubs are important. If you like subs, cool. If you also like dubs, that's also cool. Don't let anyone knock you for your fucking preference, yo. But,
No shame here. No shame here.
let's talk about the show, man. Cause all right, I keep it real for a second, bro.
What's up?
The main character sucks.
Oh yeah, he was dog. He was doggy. He was Judo.
This
Like,
nigga
he got a little
ass.
better at the end. He
got
like from
better
the
at
beginning.
the
I'm
end.
like,
Even
I
at
was
the
like, I
even
don't
at the
like
end,
you.
yeah, even at the motherfucking all right, who the names we got here? Who was playing?
Was his name Guy?
Was it
I remember.
Guy?
I don't remember how to pronounce their names. If I'm being
trying-
honest, I just know
I'm trying to
descriptions.
remember. I'm pulling up their names now, but like, did you have a favorite character from the show? Because like I actually came around on the young girl. I liked Ali. I rest Gi-hoon.
I like the girl. I like the girl who's trying to help her brother.
Yeah,
was
that
cool.
was
I like the old man to the twist.
Nam. I did like him. Even after the twist, I'm like, damn. Because like it actually caught me off guard, but then that gives you more incentive to kind of go and rewatch the show, because then you realize there's a lot of like clues there. Like when the case investigator opens the binder, it starts at number 2. And also evidently during Tug of War, he wasn't shackled into the thing.
What? No, he was. Was he?
He was, but I guess it was in a way where he wasn't in any sort of imminent danger if it like went over.
Oh.
So there are apparently a
Interesting.
couple little clues that give away that Ilnam is, you know, not who he appears. Or also like even him just smiling during the first game.
Bro, after I watched the show, I went and go watch a couple people's reactions, like who are reacting episode by episode. And I was mad because as I was watching it, I was never suspicious of the old man. Like I
wasn't
never
either.
thought
I got
the
caught
twist
off
caught
guard.
me fully off guard. But I was
agree.
watching this one YouTuber, his name's Sean C. For people who aren't familiar, he does like
That's
more
right.
music reviews, but he started a second or third channel called Sean Cinema, and he was watching episode by episode, and by like episode 4, he like called the old man twist. I'm like, fuck, man, like how, bro? Like he's like,
Right.
nah, it's too convenient. Like his memory works when it wants to and is off when it doesn't want to. I don't trust this old man. And I'm like, damn, you're like wholly right now. Like you fully call that.
I think the actor just really made him very, very like sympathetic, especially because like during the we'll get to the Marbles episode in a minute, but just like talking about characters. Like he was just really sympathetic in that. Like Ali could do no wrong, which is why he was fucked from the beginning, because he was too pure for this world. Nigga had to die. Rest in peace to Ali, to Don. Saebyuk, the little girl. I thought like I was annoyed at her at first. I'm like, this bitch done stole all his money. But then again, he kind of fucked that up for himself. Like,
when I was watching it, I was like, how old is this girl? Like, she has to be like 15, 16 or something like that.
That's what I thought. How old is she supposed to be?
Bro, the actress in real life is 27.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Asian don't raisin.
Really don't though.
27.
Like,
what the fuck? That's like when I found out that homegirl from Spider-Man was 28.
Who?
Or Harrier.
Oh, really?
She was 28 when they did that movie. When they did Homecoming, she's like 30 something now.
Whoa, that's a trip.
Yeah. It's a damn.
Damn, like
27. She older than me, bro. She looks
right.
Like, it's amazing what a haircut and a jumpsuit can do.
Right, a haircut, jumpsuit, and no makeup. 16.
Right.
I could have sworn. Right.
I like her. I didn't hate Song-woo as much as other people did. Like, I thought his story was more like a fall from grace than a fuck this man. He the worst. He just gonna do Ali like that. It's like, hey, bro, you got like millions upon billions on the line. Has to see it through, my boy. Like,
right. I didn't distrust him like everybody else, but he was on some low key shady shit from the beginning. Like
it was it dirty.
He fucked even before the game started. He fucked over his mom, bro. Like he bet his mom's company. Like he sold his mom's like rights to her business and stuff.
Like that's the most fucked up thing. The most fucked up things he did were outside of the games. In the games, it's like, no, that makes sense. You got to do what you got to do. But
it makes sense, but
like, bro, your mama's house, nigga.
Right?
What?
Your mama's own house, right? But even but that's the thing, because he's willing to do that before he even got in the situation. When he's pinned against the wall, you know he's only looking out for himself, because he's always someone who only look out for himself.
Right, and that's dirty. Like I don't hate him because I think his actor performed him in a way where he you can tell that at the end of the day he has selfish. He was about to kill himself before the game came back around.
Right.
But
when he was in that tub, bro.
He was in the tub with the full suit, and they sent the car in. It was like I never hated Song-woo. I was just disappointed.
Bro, was I the only one thinking when he was in that tub? I was like, I'ma fuck up my life. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Now that you say it.
Go watch that scene again with that song in mind. It's like it's too perfect.
You got to put that as a video because that's just funny. I kind of wish he had a little bit more for the story of Junho, the police officer who how snuck into this bitch. I don't know how as long as he survived, and I did feel kind of ignorant with realizing that was it Game Master, not Game Master, the lead man. What's his name?
Mm-hmm. Was the brother?
Yeah, the brother, the front man.
Okay, I never suspected it for the simple reason of maybe I missed something in the beginning, like the episode he was introduced, but the whole entire time I was under the impression that he was going there because his brother recently just went missing and he was a player in the game. Cause he went to his apartment or whatever and found the card. So I'm like, okay, so he must have just went missing. And I was like, wait,
that's what I thought.
So I thought it was his younger brother. So I was like, wait, he's been gone for years and it's the game master. I'm like, I don't know if that tracks. Maybe I need to rewatch it. But I was like, I didn't feel like that tracked for me.
It was something that I agree with you about that, where the way it doesn't really didn't click the way it was expected to click. But here's a question. Two questions. What did you think about the VIPs and what did you think about the games themselves? Because I've seen a lot of people take critiques with the VIPs and how they were acting. I'm like, no, I guess because it wasn't as serious and because they're all almost like chewing the scenery, kind of just like, woo, let's watch these people die. And I'm like, nah, this just sounds like Americans. We're just assholes like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, that didn't take me out. I'm like, no, this tracks. This is how we're bastards, yo. We yell at like monster truck rallies. You think some games of humans killing themselves? The Olympics, bitch. What?
Yeah, the VIPs were gross. They were nasty. They were trash. But okay, here's what I thought. Because as I was watching it, the show was already dubbed because most of the show's in Korean. So as I was watching it, I was realizing that those actors were speaking English. Like, their mouths were in sync. They weren't dubbed. So my mind was like, okay, they're gonna reveal that these are actually like American actors that like we know. Like, I thought like, so too. We gonna reveal his mask and it's like Danny DeVito or like Michael Douglas or something, right? Like, but that didn't happen. Yeah, and I thought they're gonna be name actors in America. I'm like, what? Like, but they never actually reveal any of the VIPs. They never actually reveal any of their identities, except for the one who got knocked out. But I don't think they it didn't really, their acting didn't really bother me. I never really thought anything of it. Yeah, I was just like, okay, there's like eccentric fucking billionaires because, as we all know, because when you have unlimited access to money, fucking rich people do some weird shit. And I'm like, okay, yeah, because they're bored. I'm like, yeah, this makes sense to me. This tracks. Yeah, they're like Illuminati types, whatever.
Right. It's just like, this is not beyond the scope of potential for how Americans, let alone American billionaires, act. We're dicks. And then you make us assholes with money, bitch. Elon Musk, not Elon Musk, he's South African, but fucking Jeff Bezos. He's like, I want to go to space because I'm petty. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds like some shit an American would do because he's rich.
Yeah, no, I'm like, I could totally see if Squid Game was a real thing that like the top billionaires are watching this stuff, because I feel like most billionaires are narcissists or like people who get that level of success. Like you have to be in charge of people and to willingly like let people go and like knowing what's going to happen to them. I feel like you have to have some level of detachment to get to that level, detachment from humanity. So like, yeah, I don't think it would be above them to like watch people die in a game because like they want their money or whatever. Right. Like, yeah, sure. Like, me, was their acting a little hammy? Sure, but so was the rest of the fucking show, so it didn't stand out to me.
Yeah, like it didn't take me out of the show just because they're like, woohoo, let's watch these Koreans die. It's like, that's not that far. It's not that different than us like cheering at the Olympics, like, boo, beat the Russians. Like, yeah. Like,
right.
or a football
but to answer
game,
your right, no, not that different from a football game either. But to answer your second question, I think the
games themselves,
the games were intense, man. I was like, who knew red light, green light could be so deadly? I'm like, God damn.
That's a meme now. It's like, fuck.
Right. Like, I can easily see like a game of red light, green light being played like Squid Game, but instead of like actual bullets, it's like paintballs or something. Bullets. Like, yeah, exactly. I can easily see that. But I'm trying to think what was the most intense game for me that was to watch. Marbles was for you. I think Marbles was pretty fucked because
episode. I'd say Glass, not elevator, but like the literal glass floor was probably the most tense for me.
Yeah, no, Glass 4 is definitely the most tense for sure. I think because like, yeah, so when he was our main character, our main dude was trying to choose between going first or going last. I was just as like conflicted as he was because I was like, he could go first and pick number one, but what if they did the shit like they did when it was the voting and like they make the last person go first? I'm like, what is like? There is no good choice here, but it was very straightforward and like, yeah, you ended up going last. I was like, okay, they didn't like switch up the rules on you, but still, just that whole. You know what I wanted to know? Why did nobody try to walk between the glasses? Like, you think because they would have got shot? I was like, maybe it would have got shot because I don't know if they ever specified the rules that you couldn't walk between the beams. Like, no one even attempted to do it.
Right, as far as I know, it never said you couldn't do that. Which, in theory, you could probably shimmy your way across on all fours.
Right. Like if our
do it.
Exactly. Like if our boy's smart enough to beat the system and start licking the fucking honeycomb. Like, come on,
Yeah.
somebody got to think of walking on the panels. Like, come on now.
Let's see. So what were the games we have? With the first game was red light, green light. We know how that shit went. And the minute people
Right.
started panicking and people getting shot, I'm like, I don't know if I would run or freeze, but I think because your fight or flight activates at that point, and I'm surprised how many people fighted.
Right.
Fight, flight, or freeze. Some people would have stayed still because if you see somebody get shot in front of you, you're like, if I don't move, the bullets can't see me. Like some people would have stayed
Right.
their ass still.
And I'm like, I wonder if any of them could see where the guns are coming from. Because as far as I know, I think they were like all around. I don't think they were just in front of you. I think they were like every angle.
Yeah, I think it was like all around the walls of the surrounding area.
Yeah, like, so I'm just like, at that point, you're kind of fucked. Like, I feel like you gotta stand still.
You just gotta hope you win.
Right.
Yeah, Renly Greenlight.
Also, technically by the rules, wouldn't a remain dude have been shot because he technically moved because he got knocked down?
Would he? Do you have to stay upright?
I think you gotta freeze entirely. Like you can't move at all. And he got knocked down by somebody else.
I think it depends on if the robot detects movement. If it didn't detect it, I guess it's fair game. Okay, before we go through the games, Gi-hun wins this entire thing by sheer luck. Like everyone else makes it so he can win, in a sense, if you think about it. Because like he gets saved in the first game. Second game, he won that one on his own. I'll give him Honeycomb. So Honeycomb. I don't know why the fuck anyone if they say pick one, they're not picking the easiest shit. Because the minute I didn't know what the game was. I just got to the episode. I'm looking at the what was it? Circle, triangle, square, umbrella.
Yeah, it was circle, triangle, star, umbrella.
Star, umbrella. And I looked at it, I'm like, oh, the triangle. I don't know why, but the triangle just seems like the safest one. Who the fuck was right? Like the triangle, you just go along the lines, bitch. Like that's easier than circle. I'm like, oh, I'd either do circle or triangle. Something about that seems easier. Then you get to honeycomb, because dying left and right. And that shit was hard. But yeah, I think I'll give him credit. He figured out how to get that damn umbrella out of there. He was fucked for a minute. On his own. Fucked. It was the third game. Tug of War? The third game, Tug of War?
Tug of War. Yeah. I was just
Tug of War,
when they came up with that plan to like run forward, I was like, does that track? Like, will that really work in real life? I don't know.
I don't know, but I kind of want to see now. Now I'm curious. Like, well,
I'm like, they did all fall.
It depends how hard the other team is pulling. If you know for a fact that they're pulling and you give like a little bit of slack, it'll fuck them up for a hot second. But you have to be like really, really good about being in sync about that.
Because you got to give up your whole. You have to give up your whole ass ground, and then hope that they fall and hope that they can't get up by the time that you recover and like pull all the way back. It's a little bit of a stretch, but like okay,
it's not unfeasible. But again, he didn't win that from his strength. He won that because Il-nam taught them how to do it, and then Sang-woo like gave them the additional help when things were going out of their favor. So that also wasn't him. He didn't come up with that plan. We had fourth game, marbles. God, let's talk about marbles. Fuck.
Ugh.
That episode fucked me up.
Yeah, marbles was ruthless. Because like that was the episode when our characters started to die.
Yeah, like that's when we started losing bodies. Except, of course, our girl Minyo, crazy old lady.
Yeah. No, she got out of it. Which is wild to think that if Guy had chosen like the other young dude instead of the old man would have been fine because he would have just been chilling in the area.
Right. They probably fired the gun in the air, but then like you also kind of realize the fact that Il-nam, now with the context of knowing that Il-nam was one of the people that like made the games or was running the games, and that he still like guilt tripped Gi-hun over it because he was taking advantage of an old man. It's like, well, bitch, look, it's either kill or be killed. Like, and that, but like marbles is sad, not just from what we see, but also from the implication, because that there are like couples in there too. So they're like, oh, we'll stick together as a team. Now you have to kill your like spouse.
Also, can we just talk about the concept of couples being there in the first place? Because like
An ultra debt. That's student loans.
in ultra debt,
No,
right? So I was
y'all
like,
both got
okay,
loans and said, "Hey, look, what's there to lose?" Then niggas get shot, and you're like, "Ah,
I
so
just
that's
need to
do us
know,
part?"
like, I was like, was that motherfucker going up to both of? Did he go to them as a couple and slap the shit out of them both, or did he play against both of them
Yo,
individually and was just slapping motherfuckers? We just slapping his wife in front of him. Like, was that what's going on?
hey, nigga, and he smacks him. He said, "Y'all want to play again?" He throws down that fucking card, smacks the both of them with both hands. Yeah, what's their story? Damn,
You know why he's so
funny
fucking
as
good? Because he
hell.
getting that practice. He getting that practice in with all of them. He played this 456 times every single year, multiple times a
Hey,
day.
used to this shit. Also, side note before we get back to marbles, was that um homeboy from Train to Busan? I'm not sure.
No, which
Yes,
one? The guy who was throwing it down? Was it?
yes, that was the same
Did you
dude from
Google
Train
it?
to Busan.
Wait, which
The
one? The
same,
guy throwing down the cards?
yeah, the guy throwing down the cards. That's the same dude
He
from
was the
Train to
main character from that movie?
Busan.
No.
Because I saw his face. I'm like, ain't this the nigga from Train to Busan? I just checked. Gong Yu. It was him. It's the same dude.
Hold up. To Busan. Are you about to fuck me up right now? Hold up.
I'm about to fuck you up, bro. It's the same.
Yo,
It's the same-
what?
I recognize his face.
Yo,
I'm like, I know
it
your face, bro.
was.
Can't escape my eye.
Yo. Wow, that's crazy. It's
Same
totally
dude.
him.
Evil twin. But I think probably the two that I did feel bad that homeboy that was up against the bully with marbles and they had to play the dirt in the circle game that he lost. I kind of wanted him to win because I really didn't like that nigga.
Wait, who?
What's his name? The bully dude, not the bully, the gangster, the thug.
Oh, you wanted the gangster to win?
I wanted him to lose. I didn't like his
Oh
ass at
yeah,
all.
I wanted him to lose the
whole
whole time. Yeah, he was
motherfucker
shit
was
from the
garbage.
beginning.
I was hoping he would lose, and then he kept surviving. I'm like, damn it, won't your ass die? And then he eventually died.
Right.
So I think the two saddest ones from marbles like that whole episode was hitting me. Not gonna lie, like
Oh, yeah.
especially with Gi-hun manipulating Il-nam from his tumor, and him like walking, which also explains why it was like based off his old hometown. It's his game.
Yeah. Also,
but
his acting in that was like phenomenal. You know,
my
like with
God.
so little words, you can tell that he was like, it was fucking him up that he had to trick this old man because he needed to survive for his mom, or
Right,
for his daughter.
like all for her to die of diabetes.
All right.
My fucking heart when they were both acting hard as shit, but the ones that it was Junho and the other girl.
Oh
Was it
yeah,
Gio?
I think so. I think it was Gio. Yeah.
They were like they didn't decide their game to the end, and then she just gave up. She's like, "Oh, looks like you win." I'm like, "No, no, no!"
I already knew she was gonna die. I already knew she was gonna die.
Oh man, think about it now. It makes my heart hurt. God damn. Oh, I'm about to fucking cry. Oh, that shit was sad because she just gave up. She says, "Say hi to your brother," and she didn't even win.
Oh, you know, the part that fucked me up was that. So like when she was saying it was an honor playing with you, and she was like smiling and crying, and then like you see behind her the girl's head, like she gets shot in the head. I was like, fuck. That was savage. That was fucked.
And because they were like talking about trips, she's like, "Oh, when we get out of here," she's like, "Oh, that's right." And they kept remembering, and I'm like, "Stop this, stop it."
Yeah, please don't do this to me.
It's like, don't do this to me. It was that, and of course, Ali's death. Like, at least he got his family out. His whole situation was extra fucked.
I was mad. I was mad because I believed him for a second. I was like, yeah, they're gonna be a teammate, and they're gonna they're gonna do it. They're gonna find a way to get out of this.
Tricked our ass too.
What?
Long Wu fucking tricked her because you hear like him shake the bag, and you're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, there's marbles in that bitch." And
yeah, like that's right. They're a team. Like he's loyal to him. Like he knows he's a good dude. Like yeah, they're gonna find a way.
They're gonna grind together.
Right.
They're gonna win together until he's like, "I won. All you said was I had to get the marbles." I'm like, "Wait, all cap. Say psych, Sangwoo. Say psych right now, Sangwoo. Sangwoo, say psych right now, bro." And you just see
I was like,
Ali
damn.
wandering around. He's calling his name. Oh, that hits the heart.
Oh.
Yeah, fuck
I was
the
like,
writer.
damn, I would have been dead. I would have been dead, bro. I was like, I would have fully believed his
man.
ass. I'm dead.
Nigga, we couldn't be a Squid Game. I couldn't play you in marbles. That'd be fucking. It was like, nah, man, not my. Look, shoot any of the other bitches in here.
Right. I was like, fuck, I can't do this. This is fucked. I can't kill my friend. That's so fucked. Yeah. Do you think you would survive the Squid Game? How far do you think you would make it in Squid Game?
At my best, I'd have probably made it to the glass floor, tried to walk through the middle of that bitch, and then they shoot me. Like, I'd be the one to experiment and be saying, what if I try shimmying my way through the middle? I'm good at pull-ups. Like, I'll just.
So you think you would have made it to the 5th game? You think you would have made it right before the finale?
Especially because I don't know how to play fucking Squid Game. I would have made it to that 5th game, tried to shimmy my black fat ass across the middle, and then they shoot me and I just fall to the ground. Like at my peak, yeah, that's probably. How far do you think you would have made it?
Oh damn, that's a good ass question. Sheesh. Okay, I think how far I'd make it really depends on how I would react to red light, green light. So if I made it past red light, green light, let's see.
Then you got honeycomb.
Yeah. I think I could be fine at honeycomb. Like as long I don't think even if I didn't choose triangle, I definitely don't think I would have chosen umbrella. I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no way.
That just looks like
like never in a million years am I choosing umbrella. Right.
I'm like, I don't know what the game we're about to do is, but I know for damn sure I'm not picking that weird ass shape.
Right. You're like, hell no.
That shit's way too abstract. It's like, give me the circle or the triangle.
And then tug of war, yeah, I think I'd have been fine in tug of war. Like, there's no way.
Tug of war really, that really depends on like who you're with too.
That's also very true. Like that's. But I feel like I'd be in the back.
Yeah,
I'm a big nigga. I'm big and tall, so I'm like, I feel like, yeah, it depends on who I'm with, but like,
shorter and
also gotta pick my team. Like, so like, I feel like because I'm already big and strong, that people would just come to me. So like, I get the choice of who my team is.
Right. It's like I'm shorter. I
feel like I'd be okay.
Yeah, so I'm shorter and stocky, so I'd probably be in like the middle of that shit. So it's like that depends on the team. Marbles could really go either way depending on what game you're playing. Because you can pick.
Okay, so wait, are we in the same Squid Game? Is that what we're saying right here?
I feel like we're in the same Squid Game. It's 450.
Fuck, I'd be mad because I would definitely pick you for marbles, and I'd be mad that like one of us had to die.
Wait, I take it back. Give me the crazy bitch. Give me the crazy kind of fine shawty.
Oh wait, the cigarettes in the pussy, shawty. Cigarettes in the pussy.
She suck your dick and steal your marbles. You over here patting your drawers, just like, wait, that bitch stole my marble. It's too late. You already dead.
Wait, are you talking about?
I'm talking about the old one.
Oh, you're talking about cigarettes in the cigarettes.
I'm talking about cigarettes in the pussy. I'm talking about cigarette box in the box.
Cigarette box in the box.
Get the marbles in the box, if you know what I mean.
Cigarettes in the box. In the box. In the box. In the box.
In the box. Like, yeah, it'd be like, give me her real quick. She kind of crazy. She kind of bad. I fuck with it. She over here like, I can turn tricks for you, and you see it. The last thing you see is head, and then your own brains. That's.
Oh wow.
See her head go down to your elastic shorts. Then you just see her snatch the marbles. Hey, get back here, bitch! Then you stumble, fall over, and you just see somebody with a PlayStation symbol on their face with a gun pointed right at you. That's the last thing you see.
So, what game are you trying to play with them? What game are you playing with the marbles though?
I feel like the only thing I can maybe think of is that odd even shit. Either that or like the throwing one. Like
the throwing one.
Odds and evens is just chance.
Yeah. Dang.
If I make it through, like first two, I think I could survive those.
I feel like I wouldn't make it past. I would definitely die on glass for 1,000%.
Yeah,
honestly,
glass, I'm fucked.
Glass, I'm fucked either way. Cause like I'm a big nigga. So like either one I'm stepping on, I'm falling. Either one I'm stepping on, I'm falling. Like it's no contest. Like
like you feel it starting to crack under your foot. You hop over the other one, and that one breaks too. I'm like, God damn, what are we supposed to do now?
Yo, I would fuck everybody else because like it was. Let's just say I make it to on the tempered glass, right? I step on that motherfucker, it's already cracking. So then I'm just stepping on all the tempered glass, and I fuck everybody else because like, there's no other option for anybody. Because as soon as they step on it, they're dead.
It's just me.
It's just me. I'm the only one. I win the game.
That's why I would be in the middle. I'd be trying to shimmy my way across broken glass using like it's the monkey bars in that bitch. Through the middle. Just
Yo, shout out to that one homie who's doing the math calculations in his head to realize how fucked he was, and then he just like skipped along
said
until he died.
Between me and Jesus,
I'm like,
pop, went right through that shit.
Yeah, I'm like, you can at least try to grab the other one.
That was the thing I realized, and I didn't talk about this with you, but I'm like, they all have jackets. I know they couldn't have shoes because shoes are too heavy. Just like smack that shit really hard.
Right.
If it's actual glass, it'll crack or shatter. I'm like, no.
There were two things I thought were going to come into play that didn't actually ever come into play. Was the fact that one, the old man gave Guy his jacket, so he had the number 1 jacket with his last number on his shirt. So I thought that was going to be something of importance. And also the detective, they kept making a note, or they kept bringing attention to the fact that his button was hanging. So I thought that was going to be something that gave him away, but it never did.
Oh, it was too. It just occurred to me as you said that Lil Nam pissed on himself on purpose.
Oh yeah. Wait, so what was the point then?
To stay in character. like
to the bit.
That just hit me as you brought him up. It's like he pissed on himself. It means but he knew the whole time, so he pissed on himself on purpose.
Oh, 1000%.
He peed himself.
He pissed himself.
Yeah. Okay.
He's a pee boy.
He's piss boy. Baby
boy. Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Great show. There's two things. Yeah, let's talk about the ending. Especially where we have the reveal that Il-Nam was one of the benefactors for the game the whole time. Which one, that definitely surprised me. Two, Gi-hun was sitting on the money, which I'm like, you could have given this to like several people if you really wanted to. It did a year.
For a whole year. So I'm like, this man must have at least
a year later, like nigga is
he didn't
stupid the whole show.
He didn't do nothing with the money. He didn't do nothing with the money. Because you know why? You know how I know he didn't do nothing with the money?
It took him a year to do some shit with the money.
No. He did something with the money. You know how I know? Because in the first episode, he owed those motherfuckers like a lot of money. And you notice he still had all his body parts by the end. So he at least paid off his debt. That's the least he did.
Probably buried his mom, still in that agony house.
And,
and then took him a year to be like, oh, let me go visit my daughter. Nigga! Oh,
you've seen her in a year, bro.
Father. Apparently, the implication is that he was traumatized from the fire from the union that happened. So I guess that was part of it. Is like he's a gambling addict and some other stuff. I'm like, cool motive, still a shit dad, garbage father.
1000%.
Fucking mama died. Like again, as we pointed out, he won the whole game. And yeah, that was the thing. In Squid Game, he only won because Sang-woo killed himself.
Right.
Gi-hun did not put effort in this entire game outside of Honeycomb. He won this shit by straight luck. A week.
That's the only thing he put his effort in. Yeah, I'm like, I mean, good for you, shoot. But also,
but fuck, like, damn.
The ending, that last scene though. How do you feel about that last scene of the show?
That's what I was going to ask you about. I don't want a season 2.
Ooh, because don't want a season 2.
I know that Netflix will want it to be bigger, and I'm really worried that we're going to get Squid Game International. Really worried about that. Now, here's the thing. Squid Game in different locations, I'm cool with that. You know, Squid Game Brazil, fucking Squid Game Zimbabwe, Squid Game Japan. I'm cool with that. Fuck it. Squid Game Detroit.
Wow, that'd be wild. That'd be a wild.
I don't want Squid Game International. That's what I'm worried.
I don't think that's what it's gonna be.
It's that, but like I'm okay with it ending on which they could get on the plane.
No, he can't get on the plane. He can't.
He can.
No, bro. because they know where he is. They know where he is in that exact moment. They know where his family is. They're always watching. He wants safety and security. Like now our boy, like he got money. He got all that money. He got his red hair. He's dangerous.
No, it was red. It's on the plane.
Yeah, bro, he looked like Gara. Come on now. He had his red ass hair.
It was red.
Like he has all the money in the world, pretty much. He has the funding. He can take them down. I feel like he can take them down.
Plane. You are one man.
As long as they know where he is, he's always in danger.
What are they gonna do?
Whatever the fuck they want. They're like their organization.
Okay,
he's gonna.
You know who else is like that? The Korean government.
I'm gonna see my boy take him down.
I don't.
He was trashed for most of the show, but I feel like he has red hair. New leaf. He's turned a new leaf now.
Oh, he's Super Saiyan God now. He's special.
he has a new leaf on life. He's gonna take him down, and I feel like
get on the
plane. One of two things is gonna happen. I think he's gonna either replay the Squid Game and go back in with a new group of people, or he's gonna try to take it down from the outside in. He's gonna I don't know.
Because
I don't know. I feel like I think season 2 is gonna be very different than season 1. What?
He only won, as we pointed out, from every. That means, look, luck runs out, bitch. You got the equivalent of about $33 million from straight luck per week.
I just hope he's gonna use his money wisely to take them down. Like, he's gonna get some resources on the side. He's gonna get a team of assassins. He's gonna put together a team. He's gonna be the Nick Fury of Korea's most badass. He's gonna take the Squid Game down.
He'll be Korean Batman.
He's gonna be Korean Batman, damn straight. With that red ass hair, he's gonna be vigilante on their asses.
Look, government.
He's gonna team up with the cop because I don't believe that cop is dead.
I don't either. I'll give you that. I don't think the cop is dead because we didn't see a body. He got shot.
I didn't see a body.
It was the left shoulder. It was still the shoulder. He could theoretically survive.
He got shot in the shoulder. We saw him almost fall off of a cliff, and then we didn't see him fall. We didn't see the results. So I'm like, he's not dead. I don't think he's dead.
All we saw was the water. In theory, he was on a cliffside. So, but if it was me, we know where you are, we know where your family is. Okay, we're gonna watch my fucking Korean ass spend this millions of dollars spending time with my family in America. See some boring ass shit. We will be going to ice cream, movie theaters, and toy stores. We'll be reading.
But they're watching you. They're always watching you.
You know who else is watching?
They can fuck with you if they want to.
Apple.
But they personally traumatized him though. Like he can't go. He saw people die. He saw people he cared about die.
Go to therapy. Niggas die every day, B. They're called soldiers.
He saw people fall to their deaths. And what made it worse is he saw another motherfucker in the same position as him going through the same thing. So he knows it's not going to stop. I don't think he can live with himself knowing that this is going to continue going on and on. I feel like he feels obligated to shut it down. Especially with the position that he's in.
He is the last person that should be making ethical arguments when he was prepared to kill an old man over some damn marbles.
He didn't know he was going to have to. Like, it was either him or the old man. Like, he's not in that position anymore.
So he
has power now.
Shot all week. Yeah,
he has money. He's a new man now. He's a new man.
Go to therapy, bitch. Go to therapy. Not to me. Not me though. Somebody. Go see the therapist.
I feel like we're gonna see this. You know what? He's gonna. He has all that money. He has all the resources in the world. He's gonna pull together. Like, he's gonna be the Nick Fury. He's gonna pull together all the characters from Netflix. The Korean Avengers. No, even better, bro. He's gonna pull together all the other Netflix characters from the different shows.
For the different shows, all the Korean shows on Netflix, they're gonna have a cinematic universe.
He's gonna go through the Netflix verse and get all the other characters to take him down, bro. He's going to Stranger Things. He's going to Luke Cage. He's going. He's going to Sex Education.
It's a redheaded Korean. It's the kid from Sex Education, the niggas from Daredevil, the cast from Dear White People's gonna pop up. Our time of shenanigans and racism is over. We don't accept a capitalist patriarchy in this world.
He's getting the cops from Bright.
He's gonna call Dave Chappelle to say some transphobic shit, and they're gonna get confused. We don't speak English. We don't know what he said. Not sure if that was offensive or not.
Yeah, bro. He's gonna get the whole squad. He's gonna take the Squid Game down.
And
Just
that's
you
gonna
wait.
be it. That's gonna be the funniest shit ever. Squid Games 2 into the Squidverse.
Into the Squidverse? Into the Netverse.
Into the Netverse. It'd be all the shows that were and all the shows that are yet to come. It's gonna be like that cyberpunk show that's coming out. Love, Death, and Robots.
Bro, he's gonna get Joe Goldberg from you.
There's only one man to call in a time like this. Who could do this? Joe Goldberg. Joe's gonna fall in love with a Korean bad bitch and topple the whole thing. he's gonna meet a fine bad bitch in Korea and start killing by the hundreds.
Oh yeah. He'd go all the way for her. He'd go all the way.
It's gonna be a whole wash. Don't let Joe Goldberg in this bitch. Everybody finna die expeditiously, and they'll never know. He gonna put on a fitted Yankee cap and put up a collared shirt, and they'll never know who committed these murders.
Yo, he's gonna work out a contract with the studio. He's gonna get Stuart Little in that bitch. He's going.
Oh shit! Not Stuart Little. Not the rat. God damn. Oh my god.
That's the one thing I will give Squid Game credit for is the fact that there was no supernatural element in the show, even though they said zombies, which I was like, maybe that's like a language conversion thing. Yeah. But yeah, it was a very all grounded show. I'm like, fuck, this like this could technically really happen, which makes it more fucked.
It's like there's definitely like a suspension of disbelief of like, you know, the turrets that are everywhere and this taking place on like this island and somehow no one finding it and shit. Like there's suspension of disbelief. Like
for the amount of time that it's gone on for, yeah, it could probably be. But again, I don't know. Maybe they
like
covered the
456 people go missing and no one says shit.
Yeah, no, that's
2 days later. Yeah, that's a little surprising, but
yeah, I feel like they can only get away with like 1 or 2 years before they get caught.
Yeah, like it doesn't.
Maybe 5. Maybe 5.
Also, yeah, in real life, but in the show, it's implied because I think he said he's been doing it since the 80s.
Yeah,
which implications. Like
also, do they play the same games every year, or like is it like an array of different kid games? That's what I
wonder. But I'm assuming it's the same games because I mean,
I feel like there's more information there that we don't know about this whole organization. So I feel like that's why I need a season 2 for more clarity.
It's like if there is a season 2, I will certainly watch it but I just think this is fantastic. I just don't, for my entertainment value, I don't require an additional season.
Yeah, I don't think it's a necessity, but I would not be mad if we revisited this world and the Squid Game mythology.
And
to know more about why and how this even took place and who's involved. How deep does it run?
And I think that's where the curiosity is. But I'm okay with certain stories being kind of one-offs. Mm-hmm. It's like,
but I feel like whatever the show turns into,
sure.
I feel like it's gonna be one of those shows where like the season 1 was like the thing that kicks it off, but because virtually, seemingly, at least from like a physical perspective, he looks like a totally different guy. So I feel like whatever the evolution of the show Squid Game becomes, it's going to be vastly different from the first season. And I feel like from whatever seasons going forward, it's going to be the new tone of that show. If that makes sense. Because like they're not going to be within the games anymore. Or unless like he gets tricked and has to play again for some reason.
I think that's my worry is that it won't try to expand outwardly, like in terms of, you know, the concept and the storytelling. I worry that Netflix is going to want to go bigger. I don't want that because that's usually where I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's a very, very, it's a hard line to straddle. It's a very easy way to fuck up.
Very true. No, it is
because people think bigger is better. I'm like, no. Like you can expand the concepts. You can, I think for what you're talking about is going deeper into it.
But also we have to
go into.
We have to think like, yes, I feel like American Netflix is like where it's gained its popularity, and I'm sure it's popular in Korea as well.
Yeah,
but
it's popping.
I feel like that's a very, I don't know. I don't watch a lot of Korean content, so I can't say how they develop continuations for popular content. But I feel like it's not really, as far as I know, it's not American. The American studios behind this show. It's the Korean creators producing it and like licensing it to Netflix. So I feel like if it is whatever influences are gonna take place in the sequel, it'll have to do with the Korean division of Netflix, not the American division. Which I don't know how if they operate the same way as the American one, but yeah, I feel like with popular shows, I don't know. I feel like with Stranger Things, they didn't stir it wrong. So like, I don't know. I'll trust the creator.
Yeah, I trust the creator. I think my worry is if Netflix, because Netflix the distributor, Siren Pictures Incorporated is a production company. So I guess it'll really have to kind of run through them and how the creator's feeling. Because I'd want the creator to kind of stick with this concept. He's been mulling over in it for 10 years, so I'm sure he has ideas. But so we want to go into what may be our last topic, just because it'll definitely take a grip. You know, we'll see. We'll get into the other stuff. But do we have any last thoughts about Squid Game before we get into DC?
I enjoyed it, and yeah, fuck Sung Woo, and
not fuck Sung Woo.
Yeah, no, he's a bitch.
Sung Woo over here.
No, he's a little bitch. No, I think that's it.
Dropping diss tracks to fucking Sung Woo.
Yeah, he just fucked up his life. Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so let's talk about DC FanDome, which happened as of recording this yesterday on the 16th. And so had a lot of different things to see this go around. Got a lot of things teased and talked about and discussed from all of their different forms of media. So let's talk about the biggest news that came out from there. League of Super Pets, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart.
Oh, naturally. Yeah, it's the
biggest
sensation to hit the earth.
No, there's a couple things. I'm probably going to focus more so on the movies. They're definitely like, we had some other announcements. Smaller one I want to address. Milestone actually had a nice little segment with other names. Dennis Cowan and Reggie Hudlin, who are the current heads of Milestone Media right now. We got confirmation of, first we're getting a compendium of classic Milestone projects, and it's volume 1, so there's going to be multiple ones that include like classic Blood Syndicate and Hardware, Icon and Rocket, Static, all the old Milestone stuff. So I definitely am going to want to pick that up. I believe it drops February of next year. Got confirmation that the live action Static movie is coming. They briefly mentioned it at the last FanDome, but now it has a writer. I can't recall if they mentioned who the writer was by name. So I have to double check. But we also got confirmation that we're getting a Milestone animated crossover movie, which I think is incredibly interesting. And I don't know where they're going to go with this, but I'm very curious to see it, because we haven't really, we have Milestone characters appearing most recently in Young Justice, actually this season, Phantoms. Rocket, who's a Milestone hero, is in like the opening credits, which was really fascinating to me. Like, she's been kind of a
cool
side character in the recent season, so I'm really excited to see what they do with her. And I know Static has like his supplemental role. But yeah, I mean, what do you kind of think of that bit? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's super cool. I'm not gonna front and pretend I have a plethora of knowledge about the Milestone characters. You know, obviously, like most of the people grew up in our generation, love Static Shock, so I look forward to seeing him again in an animated form. I know he's in Young Justice, but I look forward to just seeing more Static. Yeah, and getting to know these other characters like like Icon and
Rocket, Hardware,
Rocket. Yeah.
The writer for the Static movie's name is Randy McKinnon.
Oh, okay.
So he did a Grand Army. Seen that?
Grand Army, unfamiliar.
Or the name.
Grand
Army,
I'll look it up.
But
yeah, I think it's gonna be cool. And yeah, I trust DC with these characters. I trust the Milestone creators to bring those characters justice, introduce them to a wider audience. And yeah, I didn't see some stills, maybe like a trailer or something, before I can get like super excited. But yeah, I'm definitely interested and intrigued about the project for sure.
Yeah, so it sounds like they're in like pre-production. Apparently, he's supposed to be, I think, working on a new version of The Lost Boys, the vampire flick from the '90s. So that'll be really interesting. Where that goes,
Nice.
but yeah, I'm formally throwing my hat into the bucket. I would like to play Static. All I have to do is shave and hire my voice, and now I can be 15 again. Just retract my balls, and I'll be 15 in a heartbeat.
Okay.
Get
Ooh, I gotta
back in the
check out
gym. I
this.
could be Static, surfing on trash can lids and sewer grates.
Okay. The show Grand
Um,
Army has some good reviews, or has a
yeah.
positive, favorable rating on IMDb, so I'll have to check that out.
Evidently, yeah, he's a story editor and writer for the show. I've heard of it, so I've heard positive things about it. Is it a Netflix? Isn't it a Netflix show?
It is a Netflix show, yeah.
Okay, yes, I may have to check it out. What else we got?
Our boy Gee's gonna recruit them too.
Fuck yeah. Aquaman 2. We got a little bit of behind the scenes footage of it. Did you get a chance to see any of it?
I saw the behind the scenes footage. I can't really get too excited about it. It's just like featurette kind of stuff. They didn't really show too much footage. I liked the first Aquaman fine enough. I know it's the
I did
same
too.
people behind it.
Made $1 billion, so I guess they're doing something right.
Right. If I'm being honest, it's probably the thing that got me the least excited at DC FanDome. I was like, all right, cool, more Aquaman. I'm with it.
They mostly talked about it more than they showed anything. Well, we just got a little bit of behind the scenes. It's looking like, Black Manta's getting a new suit and he looks fantastic because it's Yahya.
Oh yeah. Yeah, of course.
But it's looking like him and Orm are going to be teaming up, which I think is interesting.
Didn't Orm like reform at the end of that movie? Didn't he become a good guy?
I thought he was going to like ocean prison or something.
Yeah, something like that. Like they saw the mom. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, mom," and then he went to jail. If I remember correctly.
You go to water jail, boy.
Yeah, I saw that movie like twice, and the second time I don't think I finished it. I saw an unfinished cut of the movie, and then I watched like 3/4 of like it on HBO Max, and that was it.
All right, let me see if I can go in chronological order. For this, Black Adam. We got a small snippet of it. It looks good. Good. Of course, we got those same stills. I didn't realize that the movie comes out next July. I thought it was later than that for some reason, but that makes sense because we have and we'll get to this later. Shazam 2 is 2023. So
yeah.
I
was shocked by it.
I was shocked too. The tone is
it's a different creative team, so I shouldn't have been shocked, but there's a vastly different tone and like physical look to it than the Shazam film does.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it looks a lot darker.
Yeah, it does. I'm really curious to see how because we saw the symbols for like Atom Smasher, Hawkman, Dr. Fate, all of them, and they talked a little bit behind the scene of like everybody playing everybody else. So like they had the cast doing their little comments and everything. But yeah, Dwayne's been hyping this project up for a long time, like the better part of damn near a decade. Since he, wanted to do it back in 2014. Same line, it's like it'll shake the foundation of the DC universe. It's like, all right, bro, we know. We've been saying this shit for 3 years. Damn.
Right.
But having seen the footage, now we're kind of getting something. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, let's, maybe December will roll around. Maybe we'll get an actual trailer. Because they wrapped in July, so they're probably in post right now. But I like what I see. You got any other for Black Adam?
No, I like what I see. I see they're not putting Adonis Hodge in the classic Hawkman suit. He's actually going to have a suit instead of just having his bare ass chest out. I'm like, okay, curious to see like how they update Hawkman. And
man, we're not getting nipples free Aldous Hodge.
Sadly, no, we're not getting nipples. Aldous Hodge, not this time anyway.
Armor knocked off him. He was like, my nipples.
nipples.
Nip knops.
He ain't gonna be sensitive like Drax with the shit.
My nipple's sensitive, bro. What you do that for?
Right? Come on, man. Don't be flicking them like that.
Black Adam just flies up and flicks his nipples. Just damn.
Ooh, my weakness, my one spot.
He just fall down. No, not my nipples. No.
Anything.
That's why he has the breastplate to cover his nipples. That's his weakness.
Right. He's like, I'm tired of this shit. They keep flicking him, flicking him in my sleep. But yeah, I think it looks cool. I just need to see more, and curious to see if they're gonna. It looks from the looks of it, look like they're making him a straight up anti-hero or villain. So yeah, pretty hyped.
Which I'm pretty sure we're gonna get him for Shazam 3, which should be fun. The Flash, 2022, which went through 7 directors and finally settled on Andy Muschietti. Andy Spaghetti.
Right.
What do we think about that? So we got a couple looks. We got basic confirmation that we're gonna get Batman 89. We saw his little bat cowl, and we saw 2 Ezra Millers because something that I dislike. Why not make it twice? We also got a quick glimpse of Supergirl, and I'm assuming they're implying that he whips off that he's Barry's fucking with time again. God damn it, Barry, fucking with time.
Always.
Which of course, we basic confirmation that this is a flash into the Batverse. So we're getting different Batman and the Colombian Supergirl, and I don't know what to make of this. Like, the suit looks mostly better than I expected it to, because like the concept art we got at the last Fandome really didn't tell me much. But seeing it, in person, I like the electric effects as it like goes over his body.
It finally has the yellow lightning now. It's supposed to the blue lightning in the last movies.
It's a lot sleeker to his body, which makes sense because he's a runner.
Right.
I'm wondering, I guess, of 2 things. One, will they fix the running, which should not be that hard because you just have to run like a fucking human. But 2, the helmet. I've seen a lot of contention about the helmet. I don't hate it, but upon looking at it again, I can notice the issues, which the movie's still in production. It doesn't come out till November of next year. So they just wrapped. Additional production is going on. So they wrapped, I guess, primary shooting last week. That was October 8th. I guess they're probably doing pickup shoots, reshoots, stuff like that in the coming months. So
it looks weird to me. Hopefully it gets better. I will say, like, one thing about the movie visually, just like the style of it. I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but it reminded me of Justice League, just like the way it was lit, or like the coloring of it. Like, if you told me this is like deleted footage from Justice League, like, I'd believe you. A little bit. I feel like the lighter tone fits for Flash, so like it like shadows in it, but like I don't know. It reminded me of the way that movie was colored, and shot. But yeah, like I look forward to it, and I think it'll be fun. Very different approach with the nostalgia of the multiple Batmans and Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man No Way Home, and we'll see how these multiverse movies compare to one another once that one's finally out.
Christ. It's going to be 2021 to 22 is going to be a long transition with all the multiverse shit, because we're going to have Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, and the Flash all doing multiverse shenanigans the same year.
In the same year, huh?
So overall, it looks okay. I am enticed to give it a chance. I'm not a Bat person, nor am I particularly a fan of Ezra Miller's take on the Flash, be it the writing, be it performance. I will say, I came around a little bit from Zack Snyder's Justice League. I do give it due credit. It's a despite being a 4-hour long fucking movie, I was not bored during it. I was actually getting my hair done, so it helped the time pass. I'm open to giving it a chance. More than anything, I'm more curious about like new Supergirl. the longevity of that, because DC is setting up their own little Latin representation universe, which I said during when I was recording. I'm like, bro, DC beat Sony to the punch. Sony, you could have had Araña and the first female Latin or Latina superhero in a Spider movie, and you blew it. So now DC's mopping up that bag because they saw that Disney did Black Panther and Shang-Chi, and they're like, fuck, Latin people. We got them there.
They done goofed.
Got a Latina Supergirl. The next one I want to talk about, Batgirl. I don't know if you saw the discussion with the creators behind that, but we got a little bit of discussions of the creators the upcoming Batgirl movie, starring who's playing Batgirl?
Girl from In the Heights.
Yeah, Leslie Grace. I got confused for a second because Isabella Merced was on there was a short list. Yeah, Leslie Grace, who we know from In the Heights, got cast as Batgirl. The directors are Adil El Arbi and Bilal Falah, Belgian Moroccan directors. Other co-directors, and Kristen Burr is producing. They just had a little bit of conversation. J.K. Simmons, I guess, is in negotiations to return as Commissioner Gordon. So I guess this is in the DCEU. Okay.
They said Batman's gonna be in it, so I'm assuming Affleck's coming back, but they're playing coy about that for some reason.
Yeah. How old was her mom? J.K. Simmons is rather up there, and Leslie Grace is only 26.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
She's 26.
She's the same age as us.
Yes.
Well, you're about to be 26, but yeah, same age group.
J.K. Simmons is very far. Who is the mom? It's like in that new Shaft, where it's like Samuel L. Jackson's. It's like, oh, it's his son. I'm like, bitch, what? Who's the mother? Then I see Regina Hall. I'm like, Jesus. Okay, all right, whatever. This is the realm of suspension of disbelief, I suppose. Look, I'm not saying J.K. Simmons don't got like mad bitches, but you know, like who was the Hispanic woman, and then who's gonna step out? Salma Hayek or something. I've said it's gonna happen.
I suppose.
It's like who was the mom? But apparently, we did get confirmation that she'll have the red hair. She is gonna have a cowl too. They said, which makes me very excited. And they showed they teased some concept art. It's showing purple on the suit. It wasn't up close. It was like her perched over. I'm thinking they're taking inspiration from the Batgirl from Burnside suit. I don't like that suit. That's the really popular purple one of her with like the yellow boots.
Oh, that's the newer suit.
There's another suit after that recently, that she wears now, which I don't like that one either. But have you seen the Harley Quinn show?
Yeah.
It's the one that she wears in that one. The purple suit. With the heavy boots and the big belt. I actually prefer her kind of the suit she was wearing in the 90s, even in the original the 60s Batman. Those are the suits that I like. Just because I'm like they're a little bit more consistent with like how Batman is. So it's like, her having pockets and shit, sure, but she should be able to be like movable. She shouldn't have like a lot of, other than like maybe her waistband, a lot of things moving about. It's like kind of like Nightwing, a little bit sleek but maybe armored in some parts because she's fighting crime, but she's smaller, so she has to be able to move.
Right. Makes sense.
I don't know. Did you have any thoughts about we also got a little bit of like talk about Blue Beetle, with the guy from, I'm forgetting his name. I'd have to find it, but from Cobra Kai, and so they showed some concept art. The concept art looks fucking beautiful. It looks spot on, but again, don't know how that's going to translate to real life. But I don't know. Do you have any thoughts about either of those projects coming out? Because Batgirl, I guess, is supposed to be next year.
Batgirl, I think I need to see more information on it, and just to see like the tone of it, the creative team. Like, I think it's hard for me to get excited about movies without visually seeing something, or like, or if that's like characters I'm excited about. I like Batgirl. I'm not like over the moon about it. Uh, I think that it's an interesting choice with that kid from Cobra Kai, and I think
He's a good actor.
I just he's a good actor. He's a great actor. I would just need to see more from what he has to offer. But Blue Beetle is a character that's been popular for a while. I used to know a dude who used to stand Hyman Reyes hard and like want to see that character brought to life because he was Hispanic and he was like his favorite characters. He was like the equivalent of like my love for Miles. So like I'm happy that they're finally getting that representation on the DC end, on the Latino end. And yeah, I guess I just really need to see more like how if they lean into the fact that he's Latino or he just has a character that happens to be Latino. I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out.
I believe the director and the writer are both Latino, so I think that they mentioned wanting to lean into the cultural and familial parts because they're talking about how important family has been because he's Mexican American, and so they want that to kind of play a big role in him as a character. So I think they do want that to be a part of his identity, less so than maybe a Miles where it's a little bit more integrative. I think this one is a little bit more like community type. Which, to be fair, it'll be nice to see like a young Latino superhero on the big screen, or I guess the small screen, because I think that one's going to Max. But where do we want to start? Do we want to do? Were there other ones from Fandome that we had to talk about or wanted to talk about? I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think the last thing we talked about. I don't remember.
Well, I remember the last thing we talked about was I think we made quick. Yeah, it was Batgirl and Blue Beetle. And we didn't talk much about Shazam. There wasn't really much to say other than they have new costumes. And from the looks of it, they're fighting like the Greek gods. It's like Lucy Liu and Helen Mirren. It looks like some sort of like Greek gods. I thought I saw a cameo from the Wizard Shazam, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, I saw that in the behind the scenes things too. I was like, he's back? Okay, interesting.
Yeah. What's fascinating to me is that this movie is going to have 2 years of post-production. That's really odd.
Them special effects better be on point. They have no excuse for any spotty special effects for being out that long.
I'm looking at Wikipedia. It says filming began May 26, 2021 and concluded August 31st, 2021. So that's that's a solid 3 months. The movie scheduled to be released June 2nd, 2023. Bro, that is damn near 2 years of post. Like, this movie, look, and I guess this is, so I guess they still have reshoots too. So they have reshoots and post, essentially. This movie better look like, mind you, I love Shazam. It's one of my favorite DC movies next to The Suicide Squad. So I'm of course hyped for this, but this movie better not, boy, because I know they're trying to set up a trilogy because you got to have Shazam fight Black Adam. And I guess they're also setting up that crossover, but they're also setting up Mr. Mind because he cameoed at the end of the first Shazam. So I don't know what they're doing, and I'm wondering if they're going to explore the actual like 7 realms. Because that's another thing that they've been doing or they did with the comics recently, is they had the Shazam only like go through the realms. That I thought was really interesting. But
I didn't know about that.
Yeah. And I know that people were talking about like we were talking about before on the I guess pre-show. All these other in production things, like I almost forgot Black Canary is happening, but there's like, dude, that got announced like 2 months ago. There's damn near nothing to talk about. Like that's not even pre-production. That's imagination land. They're still, thinking of the potential ideas for a script.
Right. Yeah, they ain't got shit. They're just like throwing shit to a wall right now.
There's a lot of shit that's in various forms of development, like Amazon's Black Hawks. We know Blue Beetle is coming, so that's scheduled for 2022, 2023. Booster Gold, Deadshot, Gotham City Sirens.
Oh yeah, huh?
Which
are they still doing Justice League Dark? Is that still a thing that's in production?
No, as far as as far as the DCEU goes. Green Lantern Corps, Hour Man. Fucking silly. Lobo, the Metal Men, whatever Nightwing project may occur. Plastic Man, we know about Static. Supergirl. Well, yeah, we do. Yeah, because she got.
They're doing a Supergirl.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's going to be one of those 2022, 2023s. Wonder Woman 3, which, bruh, I don't know if you saw it, but I was wigging out because of the way that like Wonder Woman 3 basically got confirmed. Because I know that we know the reception that I was the only one who liked Wonder Woman 84. I'm the only one that has like some light defenses for that movie. There's something that I can't excuse. Like the whole Steve Trevor taking over someone's body. You didn't have to do that. That was kind of pointless. But
right,
you know,
they
I like
want him to bring back for a movie. But what?
Yeah, but anyways, the way 3 got confirmed is Patty Jenkins was talking with Linda Carter about like the legacy of Wonder Woman because it's like her 80th anniversary, and Linda Carter's over here talking like it's like, well, I'll be excited to see what you come up with for the third one, and Patty Jenkins is over here like, well, we don't know, you know, if we get a third, and Linda's like, so when 3 comes out, and she's just pushing it, just powering through, ignoring fucking Patty Jenkins shit. We're getting the third one. I'll make it happen. Like,
right. She's like, you ain't in charge. I run this shit.
right.
Like it's like
Patty Jenkins
screw what you say.
The second one didn't do too well. I don't know if they're gonna want a third. And Linda Carr's like, you're getting a third one. So because I'm sure it's some like contractual shit where she can't say whether or not, because it's not like official. But Linda Carter's just like, fuck it. They don't give me a check other than to show up here. You're getting a third one, whether they know it or not.
Right. Like,
Oh,
I'm living my best life. I have no obligations. I'm confirming this shit right now.
Right.
We in this.
Oh shit. There's another thing that I want to talk about too before we get to Peacemaker. Batman Cape Crusader, that animated series that's going to Cartoon Network. Did you see the EP team behind that?
Yeah, isn't it? Who has J.J. Abrams behind it? Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves is returning or coming on to it as executive producer.
And I'm forgetting the fourth producer's name. But he seems pretty like this is a bewildering team.
Yeah. I was like, oh, they getting like the big guns for this. And it's only gonna be on HBO Max, right?
Oh, it's gonna be on Cartoon Network.
Oh, Cartoon Network? Really?
Yeah.
I remember them saying they have the freedom to go more adult with it than they did in the 90s show. So I thought it was gonna be
That's why I thought it was weird when they said it'll be airing on Cartoon Network. I'm like, excuse me? In where? Adult Swim, Toonami? But they said Cartoon Network, which I'm like, how far can you go?
Wait, no, I'm seeing right here. It says HBO Max. HBO Max cartoon looks.
Oh, it's going to be on both because Max, because Warner Brothers owns Max and Cartoon Network.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, by virtue of that, yeah, it'll be on both. But what? Like that's
it is bewildering.
That's a choice. I'm not mad. I'm fascinated with. Hold up, I have to figure out this last dude's name because he seems important. But he was the because Matt Reeves, also J.J. Abrams' contract apparently runs out in 2022. Damn it! Can I find? There it is. And and I love how they bring up the three guys. Like there was a fourth dude that was in that conversation. Damn it, what is his name? Yeah, the other three we know, but and like the art for it looks interesting too. Like it looks like classic, like 30s and 40s Batman with the ears.
Yeah, no, I was watching that thing that they were talking about, I was watching the little featurette that they were doing, and they were like, it's going to be like a 1940s aesthetic, and I was like, okay, interesting. I could see it.
Which I was
granted the other one was kind of like that, but I'm sure it's going to lead into it even heavier.
Which I was wondering if it was almost going to be a prequel to animated series, just because, again, it's kind of like the Batman, where it's like, well, he's early in his career, we don't know who he can and cannot trust. I'm like, so it's just like the Batman. What are we doing the same story in two different mediums? Like,
because it's Bruce Timm, because it's Bruce Timm this time.
Yeah, but the last thing Bruce Timm did was Batman and Harley Quinn. You know, where she farted in a car. And he said, smells like discipline. I didn't forget that.
That happened? Oh, I didn't watch that one.
Oh, no.
Maybe he's lost it. Maybe he's lost it. Oh, no. Maybe we don't need this.
See that?
Oh, no.
Remember, Bruce Timm gave us the Killing Joke adaptation where Batman slept with Batgirl, something he's been setting up since Batman Beyond.
Wait, no, Killing Joke wasn't his animation, was it? Let me look this up.
It was.
No, he did the Batgirl Harley Quinn thing.
Yeah, I know he did Batman Harley Quinn, but he also did Killing Joke, I think.
Oak.
God damn it! I'm so annoyed I can't find the.
No, that was definitely not his animation.
Producer's name, but yeah, the team for this is just James Tucker.
James Tucker. That's that man's name. It was a cool name. Hello. Oh shit! He cut out. Uh-oh. Will, you there? You seem like you cut out, buddy. Cut out, my boy. Ruh-roh. Mm-hmm. Bum, 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 bum. Oh, he cut out. Hello? Can't hear you. Oh, your mic's not on. Okay.
Entirely.
Oh shoot. Okay, you're coming in and out.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah.
Okay, yeah, my internet just went entirely out for a second.
Oh shoot.
I don't know why. It was very weird, but yeah, we were talking about Cape Crusader and Killing Joke and everything. But yeah, I could have swore Tim was a part of the Killing Joke crew. Yeah, I'm trying to see what else James Tucker has worked on as soon as shit starts to act right.
He had a role in Killing Joke, but I'm looking at the IMDb right now. He didn't write it. Strangely enough, what I just found out is that
who did Killing Joke? And I don't mean the book. I mean the movie.
Oh yeah, that's Alan Moore's the book, but like he didn't do the movie. Strangely enough, he did create the Harley Quinn show, which I did not know. Yeah, he wasn't just a producer as a creator.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say that makes sense because he was one of the creators of Harley Quinn. Him and Paul Dini.
Oh yeah, that does make sense. You're right. Created by there's a lot of people with the creative.
Okay, so funny enough that we mentioned him, James Tucker. He's worked on a shit ton of stuff. Wow, Jesus. Here's what animation department as a character designer, but he's done Just for reference, Justice League, Gods and Monsters Chronicles, Batman Beyond, Superman 75, Superman Unbound, Scooby-Doo, Mask of the Blue Falcon, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. He did Batman Brave and the Bold, Tom and Jerry and the Wizard of Oz, Legion of Superheroes, Justice League Unlimited, Fat Albert, Justice League Starcross,
Fat Albert.
Justice League, Duck Dodgers, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, The New Batman Adventures, Superman the Animated Series, Pinky and the Brain, Animaniacs, Tiny Toon Adventures, Tasmania, McGee and Me. God damn, this guy has a shit. Sweet fucking Christmas. Producer on DC Superhero Girls, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War. Basically, damn near every DC movie, including the fucking Vixen series from before all the way to like 2001.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was a producer on the Justice League show. Both of them. So
he's kind of done some stuff.
Yeah, James Tucker's ain't new to this shit, is basically what it's saying. Because I was wondering, I'm just like, James Tucker, why do you seem like you seem as important as everyone else? Well, yeah, you've been here producing shit since Bruce Timm was working on it.
Supposed to be the next Kevin Feige up in here.
Right. So it's just like, we can't downplay this man's accolades just because it's like, oh, J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, who's doing the new movie, and JJ's doing it. Oh, and they got Bruce Timm back. We got to put respect on fucking James Tucker over here making projects happen.
Yeah, no, for real. He's slept on.
Yeah. Tim was a producer on Killing Joke, along with Alan Burnett and Sam Register.
Duck Dodgers. Forgot about that show.
Yeah. Who the hell wrote this movie? That's my question. Who wrote the Killing Joke? Because I know it wasn't Brian Azzarello exactly.
No, so it was.
They took a lot from him.
Yeah, no, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. He wrote it.
The Azzarello wrote it?
That's what they're saying.
I know he didn't put in Bruce having sex with Barbara, though. That had to be Tim. Because he's been pushing that for a minute.
I don't know, man. Unless he's a ghostwriter on it.
I mean, he's a producer. He can stick his fingers into things.
He can stick his thumb in it.
I mean, Kevin Feige's an executive producer. You know how much shit he pushes?
Fair. God damn.
Oh, and no, you're right. Azzarello. Oh my God, Azzarello wrote this. The original
realization.
Alan Moore. It says it right there. Yeah, Brian Azzarello wrote this. Tim was a producer. So who's to blame for that part? I think Azzarello was like, what would be dope if Bruce clapped her cheeks on a roof. Capital idea, old sport. I like the way you think. City boys be taking over.
Good job, Brian.
Okay, let's talk about some other shit from Fandome. Peacemaker. We got our first, I guess, trailer for it. It looks good. I see a couple people are worried about the tone because they find it to be too like quote Deadpool-y.
Deadpool-y? Oh, okay.
Like it's a little too like just lighthearted plus violence, I think. Comedy plus violence. I think is what people are referring to.
It was when I watched the trailer, it's definitely, first of all, it's definitely a different tone than Suicide Squad was. It looks like a TV show, which I wasn't expecting. Like, obviously it is a show, but I guess we've been spoiled by Marvel lately with their movie characters being on TV and their shows looking like movies. So I was like, oh, this looks like a show. Okay.
I mean, if you watch Doom Patrol, you kind of get that same vibe.
No, I was talking about the Marvel stuff. I mean, Doom Patrol looks like a show, but
I know, but you can tell the budget between like Doom Patrol.
Yeah, Doom Patrol is not something
Loki.
that's from a character that was in a movie that is now to a TV.
Yeah, but I feel like but I'm like, if you're comparing like Doom Patrol to Loki, or like WandaVision, their budgets are vastly different.
Very true. Very true.
Or like Superman and Lois is a very good looking show for what it is. doesn't look anywhere fucking near WandaVision.
Oh no. No.
Which is ironic because I would say that Harley Quinn probably looks better than What If does in some regards.
different styles, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah, DC just has a tighter grip on the animation. But yeah, go ahead. What were you saying about Peacemaker?
Right. But no, I mean, it looks fun. The trailer didn't get me like super excited, but I'm like, I'm gonna watch it because I liked his character in the movie, and yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes. They've definitely played up the human aspect of him more because he didn't really get the chance to be like a rounded person in the movie.
Yeah.
So seeing him in like a different kind of context should be interesting. I noticed that in the trailer, I don't think I saw anybody saying this online. He has two different helmets in the trailer.
Does he? Huh.
Yeah, he does. He has like the one he had in the movie, and then he has a different one in like the second half of the trailer where it's not an overall dome, but like it's two parts and then it dips in the middle. Kind of like a less intense version of Steppenwolf's helmet.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to take a second look. I'm of two minds kind of about it because like even from the announcement off like I'm gonna watch it because I respect, it's kind of like the same thing which what we'll get into in a second with the Batman. It's just like I'm not as intrigued by the cast, but I can say from the interview it seems like it's fun. It seems like they have really good chemistry with one another. I trust James Gunn as like a showrunner and a writer to kind of make me enjoy it almost in a sense. But coming out of Suicide
So the jokes didn't make me laugh.
A couple did. Like weirdly enough, like seeing the eagle hug him, the clearly CGI eagle, which they pointed out even before that. I thought that was funny, like in a cute way. I'm like, oh, it's a little bird. You got a little bird sticking his head out the window.
Yeah, that made me smile. Oh, okay, I'll give it that.
I got a soft spot for birds.
That's soft spot for CGI animals.
Right.
CGI birds walking, slow walking.
Bird quaaludes. But I will say, if this does open the door, because like after coming out of the Suicide Squad, I kind of would have wanted to see a Ratcatcher spinoff. So if Peacemaker opens the door for more spin-off shows, because I don't give a fuck about GCPD, I'm sorry. But if it opens the door for other spin-offs kind of in, around this, because I know we got like the Trench is supposed to happen. Yeah, okay. Oh wait, no, that got canceled, didn't it? Didn't that get canned?
What?
That get canceled? The Trench, that Aquaman spinoff?
Oh, it did. It did.
Yeah, that finally got killed along with New Gods. I think they died the same day.
Dang. Well, isn't Ava DuVernay? Oh no, she's doing Naomi, right?
Well, no, she was doing both because she was doing DMZ and Naomi, which we both. Oh yeah, we should probably touch on those, and New Gods. So I guess the consolation prize is that for them killing New Gods, she got to do Naomi. But
I didn't see anything from that one. Did they show any footage, or did they?
Yeah, they showed like some a teaser. I think it looks, I'll check out the Naomi book because it seems like Bendis finally mastered that whatever concept he was going for with Riri Williams of a intellectual black girl with superpowers. So, but yeah, if Peacemaker opens the door to more DC like live action shows, I'm okay with it because as the CW ones are very hit or miss. Like I've heard good things about Stargirl. I absolutely love Superman and Lois, even as much as I may not be a fan of some of the characters. An emotional response means you're doing something in the right direction. But fucking love Doom Patrol. About to start season 3 soon. Once I finish you. So if this opens the door to kind of more like if they do Gotham City Sirens as a show, oh yeah, take my money. And like
Cool.
give no shits to canon. Or do like a proper Birds of Prey as like a mini series, spinning out from that Black Canary movie that they're gonna do. Yeah, I'd watch that. I'd watch those. Those would be interesting because I think that's DC may kind of find their footing, not in their movies, but in their streaming platforms. I think only time will kind of tell in terms of reception to the like Blue Beetle and the Batgirl project and like the Black Canary one to see where it lands, as well as Peacemaker. But I hope Peacemaker goes over well, because I would like to see more spin-offs from the, like, I don't really want a Peacemaker show, but if it gives us those opportunities, like, it looks solid from what it is. If it gives us those opportunities, then I embrace what it brings rather than what we kind of have. Because, like, what I really like, I'd love a Ratcatcher spinoff, actually, unironically. I think that would be really, really interesting, because she was probably, outside of my Harley bias, she was probably my favorite character coming out of the Suicide Squad. Or if it's like Ratcatcher and, what's his name? Not Sportsmaster. What's the motherfucker's name? Bloodsport. Like the Adventures of Ratcatcher and Bloodsport. Yeah, that'd be fun. Just going on little missions and shit. I think that'd be interesting. But yeah. Did we have any other thoughts on Peacemaker?
I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm sure we may get some cameos from some movie characters or some of the characters James Gunn introduced in his movie. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, we're getting it in a couple months, so we're gonna find out if it's just as good as Suicide Squad. Also,
right.
We have a little bit of some breaking news that I just saw on the internet.
There's breaking news. Side note: they could definitely get Viola Davis for Peacemaker, so I feel like she'll probably show up. Like, she did How to Get Away with Murder for ABC. They can get her. She's like, she's expensive, but not insane.
Right.
What is this breaking news?
Christopher Ayers, the guy who voiced Frieza, he just passed away today. Yeah, Christopher Ayers. Oh, that's how you say it. Ayers.
Yeah, Christopher.
You gotta complicate your words.
Yeah, Christopher Ayers was one of the later voices of Frieza after I forget her name, Linda something. So he's been the current voice of Frieza for a while. I think he's been battling cancer.
Been doing it for like 10 years.
Actually, yeah, I think actually throat cancer, because for he actually had a understudy who would occasionally do fill-in voices for him on Super. So he was like in and out of the hospital, I believe, while recording I think it was Resurrection F.
Oh.
But yeah, he's very, very well, yeah, he started voicing Frieza in Dragon Ball Kai. Dude was following health complications related to COPD. His brother's name rings a bell. Greg Ayers. Yeah. He has a brother who's actually also a voice actor, Greg Ayers. But I'm trying to think of some of the stuff that he's he did Gantz, Initial D, Full Metal Panic, Macross. He was in Fairy Tale. He's done Black Butler. He, of course, did DBZ Kai. Oh, wow. He was in Panty and Stocking. Fucking love that show. Yeah. Yeah, his final film role would have been in Dragon Ball Super Broly. As like more of a prominent, character voice. Yeah, that sucks. But I've known for a bit that he was sick. I think I was watching an interview with Moscow X. But yeah, Linda Young. So she voiced Frieza for about 10 years, 99 to 09. Christopher Ayers voiced him from about 2009 to 2019, so about a 10-year run. And there's a present other voices, Damon Mills.
Oh, it's someone's enough. So a guy named Damon Mills is now.
So Damon Mills, I believe, was his understudy because he was also sick, I believe, during the recording of Resurrection F back in like 2017, 2016. So like, every now and then on episodes of Super, if he was out sick, Mills would come in as kind of like the filler voice. I think he was always kind of his additional understudy, and he'd occasionally, take over and things like that. I got scared for a second. But yeah, rest in peace to the legend himself. Had a very solid run. Very, very talented voice actor.
Yeah, well, he killed it. He killed it in that movie and in Super. So
he would. There's never been a bad voice for Frieza, I don't think.
Oh no, no.
I haven't.
The tone of the character stays pretty consistent. So yeah, they've definitely kept it good.
Yeah, the weird thing about Frieza is I always hear him with kind of two voices. I grew up with Linda Young, which have you seen Yu Yu Hakusho?
Probably episodes here and there, but I never watched the show.
I don't know if you remember Genkai from Yu Yu Hakusho.
No, I don't.
Okay, so she was also Genkai. So when I think of Frieza, I think of her voice as Genkai, which is like this tiny old woman who sounds like this. But the way that Ayers kind of did it was a lot more like regal asshole. So
yeah,
when I hear Frieza's voice, it kind of jumps back and forth between the two interpretations, and it kind of fucks with me every time I see it because I don't know which one I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get the '90s one, who's just it's like, I don't like the way these monkeys think, and then then you have that big well, it's Lord Frieza to you. Fuck what you heard. This is what you're hearing. Yeah,
right.
the interpretations were always very, very different. And then, of course, a little Kuribo's version on Dragon Ball Z Abridged where he kind of did both. Did them incredibly well. So yeah, like if I do an impersonation of Frieza, I'm basing it off Linda Young, but the one I kind of am used to hearing now is Christopher Ayers, and Damon Mills is closer to Ayers than it is to Young. It's Broly, look, niggas be wildin'. It appears they've killed your father, Frieza, or Broly. No, eat that ass.
Just imagine that with a pinky in the air. Just, yes.
Yeah, and the fucking flying dwarf space racist himself. The baddest motherfuckers in the galaxy. Pummeled for an hour by a super giant.
Tragic.
But yeah. I guess we can get back to Fandome for a second. I thought the Naomi trailer was interesting. Apparently, a lot of people are kind of on the fence because it didn't really show. Like, it was like 2 minutes. Not even. It was like a minute, and it just shows her in a classroom giving a presentation. Then she rides a skateboard through a hallway and then passes out, and Superman, like, flies over. So it doesn't really tell you much about the show. And DMZ, they just had a lot of pictures because that's from, like, it's under DC, but it's not like superhero shit. It's a lot more grounded. It's kind of like, I think it's like a second American Civil War happens in New York, and this takes place after it, and it stars Rosario Dawson. So it's another book I think I want to pick up because I remember the the editions were going around for it. That's so both of those are Ava DuVernay's kind of little project that she's working on. The cast for DMZ looks strong. Naomi, I definitely like the cinematography from what it showed. So I don't know if you guys see anything from those.
I'm looking at it now, and it's definitely uniquely shot. It's capturing my attention with the way that it's visually presented. So I'll probably check it out.
Yeah, and the lead actor seems like really involved and is the appropriate age because she actually is like 16, and so is the character. So I'm like, oh, okay, so that's a good fit. So were there any other things to talk about before we get into the really big one that I'm sure everyone else was waiting for? The only other thing I can think of is Young Justice Phantom started, and they posted the first 2 episodes, and I really like it. They deal with racism on Mars and the marriage of Superboy and Miss Martian. So I think that's a really, really interesting concept. I'm like, okay. And they flat out say racism, which I think is really intriguing. I'm like, all right, Greg, what inspired this? But I think the animation looks better. I'm not. Maybe I'm crazy, but it like looks like they gave it more time to cook than when Outsiders was coming from like DC Universe. I don't know. The budget seems bigger. I don't know if you keep up with Young Justice or not, but yeah.
I've seen the first 2 seasons, and I think I saw like the first half of season 3, but I fell off. I don't have access to HBO Max anymore. I got cut off.
Okay. Gotta steal, bro.
I was.
I'm thinking I'm about to steal.
I got rebuked from the Max. So
bro, I'll send you some other avenues if you're so curious as to finish Outsiders, so you can start Phantoms or something. But
okay,
yeah. I guess we should talk about the very big, pummeling, violent elephant in the room that is
the big boy, the Batman.
Yeah. Where do we start with this?
Well, I mean,
so as I was alluding
on the trailer.
Yeah. So as I was alluding to earlier, I'm not entirely sold on Patman. However, the team behind this movie and every other casting decision in this movie, and the cinematography in the trailer, and the music in the trailer, and the editing in the trailer is so goddamn good.
Yeah.
I'm irritated that Matt Reeves is like making me eat my words. I'm like frustrated with this man's talent. I'm like, son of a bitch, you're gonna prove me wrong. Bitch, let me be right. Because I'm like, nope, I just gotta swallow my fucking pride.
You take a big old spoon, bro.
Yeah,
take that medicine.
It just, I thought it looked, solid from the first trailer, but god damn it, the way it's shot, the way it's lit, fucking Catwoman, Jesus, sweet Christmas. Oh my god, Zoe Kravitz being every and any part of all of my dreams.
Yeah, no, she's everything. I was like, oh, this is just the Catwoman we've always needed. She's like
wanted and needed. Like all of the villains, I think, stand out really well in this trailer. Like, yeah, Pattinson looks very good. He works very well, I think. From what
I will say, Pattinson, he looks good in the suit. The action, the violence looks good in the suit. All the words I was hearing him say sounded like DC. Kind of sounded like he was whispering. Still more like understandable than Christian Bale's Batman. The only part that made me go, that didn't quite work for me was that small part that was him talking to the Riddler, where he like banged up against the cage. Like, what did he say? He was like, "What did you do?" or something like to that effect. I was like, that is
it's like, all right, pal.
Like, what are you doing? I was like, okay, because he like yelled at him and then he like backed down for a second to like a neutral voice. I was like, was that supposed to scare me? Like, you gonna punch me through this glass? What you gonna do? Ooh, you're scary. But I think he's scary. He's more scary when he's not talking.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Like he has a very good stage presence.
Exactly. Yeah. And like he said in interviews, like the suit does a lot of the work as well.
It like, and we talked about before, it's not my favorite suit. The suit I DM'd to you today. I'm like, that's closer. And we talked about like Kevin Porter, the perfect fucking suit. But I understand contextually why the suit is the way it is. And so that's why I can give it a pass. But I think the villains really stand out. The mystery of the Riddler, whoever those gang thugs are, the way that, oh shit, who's playing Penguin in this movie? What?
Colin Farrell. Colin fucking Farrell is playing
holy
Penguin.
Fuck, entirely
take it easy, sweetheart.
Doing phenomenal. From a I got you. That motherfucker comes out of the flames like Batman would. I'm just like, god damn it.
In that final shot of the trailer,
Not
he's
just
like,
the final shot, the music cue when it goes from something in the wind to the Batman theme and like this dark which is weird because like it doesn't even I don't think it's Batman. It's like I forget the name of the actual like orchestral song, but it's like that dun dun, dun. It sounds like Darth Vader's theme.
I can see that. I can kind of see
Like
that.
if you go and listen to it, because it sounds like da 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 dun, dun. It sounds like Darth Vader's theme, and that's why it slaps so fucking hard.
It has
So
definitely
I'm
has
like,
those
why does
horns
that
to
sound?
it for sure.
And yeah, and I was wondering like, why does this sound so fucking hard? Going from like orchestral Nirvana to like this menacing score, which I'm like, that fits like a Darth Vader-esque Batman. Those parallels work incredibly well. I don't know who's doing the score in this movie. Cause God, like
Michael Giacchino.
oh shit, yeah, no, he's great. He's fantastic. He does the
I
Spider-Man.
totally, yeah. I'm hearing it. It does kind of sound like Darth Vader's theme.
Yeah, Giacchino's great. He's a fantastic composer. Fuck, God damn it. Like I'm I keep trying to push this movie aside and not give it any credit. Everything in this movie looks fucking fantastic. And
Yeah.
it's so like I know people use the word auteur with like Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder because I'd say by the definition of it, yes, they are. They have a very specific style. But like this is like Denis Villeneuve, approach to Dune, like taking a property that exists and adding that artistic spin to it. This is what it needs, and like even in the interview and everything, it's like, well, I wanted to take Batman and really ground him. We haven't really seen. I'm like, yeah, we fucking did with Batman Begins and Dark Knight. Those two movies were grounded as shit. I don't know what Matt was talking about with that, but like. It, what he's doing is like it's not so much like yeah, the character work is grounded, but the cinematography is like just fucking gorgeous. Who is it?
Yeah, man.
Greg
That
Fraser's
one
doing the
shot,
cinematography.
the one shot where it's the silhouette of Batman and Catwoman on the roof, and it's like
Oh
Batman's
my
cape is
god,
flowing in the wind, bro.
motherfucker! Oh, that might be my phone background. I don't like Batman. That's the thing. I'm not a Batman fan, but god damn it. This movie's gorgeous, and it makes sense because the dude, Greg Fraser, done Zero Dark 30. He's done Rogue One. He's one of the cinematographers for The Mandalorian. He got a Emmy for The Mandalorian. No wonder the shit looks so fucking good.
No, yeah, it looks phenomenal. It's probably the best
He did.
shot Batman movie we've got to date.
Damn it. Oh, I. I. I'm a sound like such a shitheel saying like I trust Matt Reeves to make a great movie, but knowing I have bias against both Batman and Joker. Because like my Bruce isn't my favorite Batman character, Terry McGinnis is. I like him the best. I want my fucking Batman Beyond movie. But Matt is showing fantastic work. He's not giving away the plot. That hallway scene looks amazing. The chase sequence
With
looks
the
amazing.
guns.
Yeah, which like the just like the lighting, the wide pan shot, seeing him move from place to place. The action looks great. Everyone in the
That's my
cast
favorite thing.
I
That's
think my favorites are definitely the ones of Catwoman, just because like I can tell what the kind of sexual tension is there, but also like the conflict with Bruce, who's already battling, having this dichotomy of being Bruce Wayne and Batman. I like the way Matt talks about the movie too. You know, even though it's not the way I would tell a Batman story, my ideal Batman story is actually an adaptation of Earth One. In my opinion, that's like the best version of Batman. You know, like if I had to write a Batman story, I'd do that. But him doing like interpretation of like aspects of Zero Year and Year One, kind of
Ego.
an ego. He had. I am hoping for his sake that he sticks the landing. But given his track record, I trust him fully.
1,000%.
Yeah, and it's just like it's shocking almost. I wish other DC characters could get this same level of like reaction out of me. I wish I could have come out of like Birds of Prey like this.
Right.
I think the only other one is maybe Suicide Squad. Or yeah, I'd say James Gunn is another. I think that's what will work for DC going forward, is getting those talented, more auteur directors. But you gotta make sure you get the right ones. James Gunn
Right.
fits Suicide Squad well. Matt Reeves fits Batman very well. I don't think Zack is an auteur. I'll give him that much. I don't think he was the right fit for Justice League. And weirdly
Now, do you
enough,
think-
Joss wasn't either.
I don't think J.J. Abrams would make a bad Superman. Granted, I know people were mad at him for Star Wars and whatnot, but I feel like he could do it. I feel like J.J. Abrams could bring that tone to contrast Matt Reeves as Batman.
I need somebody more hopeful than JJ. I get a very cynical vibe from J. I need some, like, if Brad Bird did a Superman movie, fuck yeah, they'd knock that out the park.
Yeah, no, he would kill it. And granted, we have Incredibles to prove that with,
right.
So
Brad Bird is, and I think he also did Iron Giant, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He already did a Superman movie, fucking Iron Giant, that WB owns. So like Brad Bird would murder it. And like the closest thing we'll have to that right now is Superman and Lois. I think that's a great show that like captures that spirit and that energy. That it also has one of the greatest Superman suits ever put to film, and it's only there for like 30 minutes total throughout the whole show, but it's fantastic. Fucking love that classic suit. Yeah, like that's what I think is going to be DC's strength. Now, am I still saddened that I won't get a live action version of like Batfleck's version of him fighting Deathstroke, which again, make it a fucking animated movie. Pay me, DC. I promise you, I will make you millions of dollars. That is such an easy thing to do. It'll be like if you put in the time and labor like an Into the Spider-Verse and give Batfleck that swan song with him fighting Joe Manganiello, Deathstroke, maybe rotoscope a fight or some shit. Oh, you'll get stupid money. You'll get obscene money. But like even for like Wonder Woman 3, I would want to see. I almost don't want Patty to do it. Not that I don't like Patty Jenkins, but I'd like to see like can you imagine Nia DaCosta? Did you see the new Candyman?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, okay. So can you imagine Nia DaCosta like doing Wonder Woman?
That could be pretty cool. I mean, she's doing Captain Marvel, so we're gonna see how she fares with that.
Doing one. Yeah, that'll let us know. But like, can you imagine, like with the nuance and the interpretations, or just like another female director? Like, I guess we'll see with the Eternals, because that's another female director. It's just like, getting these really talented artsy people, but maybe ones that aren't the names you think of when you think of like great artists, like because George Romero was supposed to do a Justice League movie. Surprisingly, Justice League Mortal seemed like a really interesting idea. It was like Brad Bird doing a Superman movie. Fucking it writes itself. It's fucking genius. Or like it'd be a wild one given, I don't know, having Martin Scorsese do a Constantine movie. Can you imagine that?
I don't think he would.
I don't think he would either, but I'm just like, he talks so much about super movies, comic book movies every now and then, which one doesn't really connotate comic books as a genre like that. Comic books are a medium. That's not a genre to say it, but I'm just like, bro, like, can you imagine a gritty mafia noir movie about a detective on the hunt of like from demons and shit, like a cynical motherfucker? Like, that'd be some wild shit. Martin Scorsese's Constantine, that'd be a wild ass ride.
Ooh, or Darren Aronofsky's Constantine.
Oh, bro, you'd be depressed.
You'd be David Fincher's Constantine.
David Fincher's Constantine. You'd be like, fuck drugs. I don't need to.
I need a nap.
That'd be an anti-drug. You come out of that and be like, I've seen enough.
Right.
Like a horror type thing, which, I mean, that's the one we like. Guillermo del Toro's Justice League Dark. You would have easy $2 billion and you squandered it. Like, I'm glad that DC's chasing the Latin market. I think that's a good market to corner, because Gina Rodriguez was talking about, well, where's our Black Panther? Sis, you'll get Blue Beetle and Batgirl and Supergirl. There. Pick one. Since you were causing such a fucking hissy, which that's another thing. Gina Rodriguez is playing Batgirl. Funny enough that I mentioned her on I think it's Batman Unbound, that Spotify series that has Winston Duke as Bruce Wayne. It has a diverse ass cast, which I'm like, oh shit, we're getting a black Bruce Wayne. Why is no one talking about this? And a Mexican Batgirl. This? That's for Spotify. It's a Spotify series.
Oh, who's voicing Who's doing Batman?
Winston Duke.
Oh, I didn't hear about this.
Yeah. The cast was announced a while ago. She wasn't announced till today, and I saw her face pop up. I'm like, oh shit, it's my favorite toxic Latina fae. I believe it's called Batman Unbound.
Okay, I'm with it.
Yeah, the cast is it Unbound? But it's definitely a Spotify series. But yeah, like I think that'll be their niche. I think they made a couple misfires, but if they get this one, like, I think the Suicide Squad is a good starting point. And I think that what they really need to do now is figure out that Batman Unburied. That's what it's called. They need to figure out that corner of who pairs well with what property. Because like there's a chance to pull this off with Static, even with his live action movie. I mean, who would be a good fit for Static? I'm trying to think of like good black directors.
They have to go unknown. Oh, for directors.
But we had a couple other topics other than Batman that we can get out of here. All right, let's talk about Venom. Let there be carnage.
All right.
This won't take long. I think the one after this will take much longer. So we saw it. It happened. Oh yeah, okay. Full spoilers for Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage. If you ain't seen the movie, then skip to the next timestamp because we go in full spoilers. I like it better than the first one. It's just here's the thing. Venom 2 has most of the same beats as Venom 1, with more engaged acting. It's just a gay rom-com with the most what the fuck mid-credit scene I've seen in probably the last 10 years. At minimum the last 5. I haven't had a what the I don't think I've had a what the fuck moment like this maybe since Far From Home. When
what the fuck or bad what the fuck?
This was a bad what the fuck. Good what the
Far
fuck
From
was
Home,
Far
bad
From
what?
Home. But that was a good one.
Yeah.
Because when Jonah Jameson, like the classic one, showed up, I'm like, oh shit. When he showed up in here, I'm like, oh shit. Like it was the same thing. Like, cause I like verbatim. I was in the theater. The post-credit scene aired, and After it ended, the first things out my mouth were Sony, you dirty bastards. Those are the first words out my mouth. But let's all right, let's briefly actually talk about the fucking film. Like I said, this is not in a derogative sense. It's just a gay rom-com. Like literally they have Venom say, "I'm out of Eddie's closet." They're not subtle about the shit. Venom and Eddie have fucked in the comics. They have a child. I think his name is Sleeper or something. Silencer. I think it's Sleeper.
What?
That's a whole
comics.
Yes, it's a whole thing. I'll have to send you the video about it. Yes, they fucked. They had an offspring. If I recall, his name is Sleeper. He's green and black. He actually showed up recently in the most recent Venom run. He met Eddie's child, like his biological child. Whole thing. But that aside, I mean, it was weird because like the trailers showed Venom's voice a lot worse than it actually is in the movie. In the movie, it's pretty good. It's consistent with what it was before. But I don't know what it was. There's like specific scenes where his voice sounds really bad, and those were all the ones that they used in the trailer. He's like, "You do either, I do either," and I'm like, "What the fuck is with this performance?" Apparently, some people were having trouble understanding him. I wasn't. Plot or a semblance there is of one. Like Woody Harrelson is acting a whole ass fool in this movie, and I'm cool with it. So is damn it, who was playing his girlfriend? Who was playing Shriek?
Can't remember the girl's name. Girl from Pirates of the Caribbean.
She is a talented actress. Naomi Harris.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Again, both of them are chewing the scenery with everything they've got. But another thing, why in the fuck is this movie PG-13? Nobody asked. Not a goddamn soul alive said, "Oh yeah, the movie with the murder axe monster, let's make that PG-13." Like, no, why? What? For the kids? Carnage is not for children. No matter how many times we saw his ass in the 90s, not a single time did we think, "Yeah, this is something that children want to see." Fuck no. What? God, maybe I'm biased. I've never personally run into any child that said, "Oh yeah, my favorite character is Carnage." Couple of adults.
No, I haven't either. Some weird ones. Some people I don't want to be friends with.
Yeah, but I've never ran into any kid that said, "You know who I like from Marvel? My favorite character that I've always wanted to see on screen, Carnage." Not at any point in childhood was it my favorite is Carnage. Some people like Venom. People like Spider-Man. Hell, some people like anti-Venom.
Yeah.
Said, "Oh, give me the red axe murder." It's the red one. Oh no. It's like, bitch. Also, I think they slipped 2 fucks in here, and one of them, like, they tried to slide by because it was muffled. Are you okay? It's like, okay, so you'll sneak in the first one. Huh?
What was the first one?
I remember the second one was very notable. The first one was like sly. I mean, there was one that they obviously edited out when like the detective was running off. Like that was a clear mother, and they cut it off. But there was a hidden one I swore I heard that was like muffled. And he was like, "Whoa,
from who?
What the fuck was that?" And he like tried to slur through it. I'm like, okay.
No,
then there was the clear. Yeah, then there was the clear one that like, "Fuck this guy." Which again, I thought that was funny. The movie has a couple funny moments, but for all intents and purposes, it doesn't really have a plot. Retread stuff from the original. I don't know, man. What are your thoughts? Because like that's.
First off, I want to say I also like this movie more than the original. I think that there is a good movie in there somewhere. I think it's better than the original. I still don't think it's a good movie. No, I think like the outline of Venom and Eddie having problems and them being at odds with one another, not being able to get along, paralleling Cletus Cassidy and Carnage, who are very synchronized, is conceptually an interesting movie. But the thing is, the movie moves at such a pace and the writing is so goofy that it doesn't give you time to process as you're watching it, and you're just like, okay, I'm just gonna just go with it. It doesn't give you time to ever get emotionally invested or emotionally care about the stakes of what's happening.
Right.
And it's not even the whole movie is arguing about if we should be a superhero rather than being a superhero movie or like a vigilante movie. He's not a superhero. He's an anti-hero.
He never was. Same with Deadpool. Sorry, this is just a minor pet peeve. It annoys the absolute sweet dog, dirty fuck shit out of me. It's just like, oh, we got to be here. They're not. God, he's not a superhero. Deadpool's not a superhero. They're fucking asshole anti-heroes. Just because they don't kill people every day doesn't make them a hero. And not all goddamn movies like this are superhero movies. They're not superheroes. They're comic book movies based off comic book characters. That is very accurate. Venom, at best, like, he's sure if it's what's his face, Flash Thompson, yes, then he's a hero. He's Venom, Space Knight. Eddie Brock has always been an anti-hero whenever he's with the symbiote. Like, even the times when he has to save the world from Carnage or Null the fuck King or whatever, still a fucking anti-hero because he's a fucking asshole. Carnage is a villain, yes. He's a dirty, ratty piece of shit. It's like Deathstroke, anti-hero. Venom, anti-hero. Deadpool, anti-hero. Get your fucking word straight. Sorry. It just, it bothers the shit out of me when they call them superhero movies. I'm like, they're not. They're fucking horrible. They're pieces of shit. Like, for all intents and purposes, like, Venom's a dickhead who really doesn't want to save people. He wants to eat people. But he kills
he does do some of that. He does do some saving and whatnot, or at least tries to in like the Lethal Protector comic book. But like, I don't know. I feel like they were afraid to embrace what Venom is, and they spent so much time arguing. If they filled the runtime with them arguing about what they should be rather than being about what they are, which is something they first off established what they are, what they're going to be at the end of the first movie. So I felt like they were just padding the time with this movie. But that being said, I enjoyed the dynamic. I didn't really care for what they did in the first movie because I didn't feel like it was true to what I know Venom to be. But I do respect them for doubling down on what they perceive Venom to be. And I felt like as I was watching it, because I was just enjoying myself, I just accepted, okay, this is just another universe where Venom is like this. This isn't my Venom that I know from the comic books, or that I know from Spectacular Spider-Man, or from Spider-Man 3, or any other interpretation. This is this very specific interpretation of Venom. That being said, that after credit scene has me a little concerned. First off, why is... The way that they started it off was a little confusing because they started off with them in a bed, like in some hotel room, talking about all the hive knowledge. Yeah, all the hive knowledge that Venom has. For them to do, and then for them to immediately go into some multiversal stuff and then show Spider-Man on the screen. What was the point of introducing the hive knowledge stuff if you're just going to do the multiverse stuff anyway? You could have had a completely different conversation and still have that happen. You're just confusing your audience. 2, why does Tom Holland not have his mask on? Like, you're just straight out confirming it for everybody. Like, I'm sure there's going to be a point in the movie, or at least maybe they didn't coordinate with the two teams, like on like a make sure they're on the same page. Unless Far From Home, like he just like, well, fuck it, cat's out the bag and takes his mask off, which I kind of doubt that's going to happen because it doesn't make sense. So like, we just have to make sure people know that it's Tom Holland, so he's not going to wear his mask in front of everybody. He's not gonna wear his mask on the news.
They could have just used the picture from the announcement.
They literally could have just
him without
done
the mask instead of Spider-Man. Purposeful. God damn it.
Could have Tom Holland
How are we finding more problems in a shitty movie? God damn. All right, go ahead.
And it doesn't make sense.
You're like blowing my mind with how they fucked that so bad. It's an easy to solve problem. Just play the exact clip from Far From Home. It's such minimal effort, but that means you had to go through the extra effort of taking footage of Tom without the mask and putting it in there. Like, we don't know what the fuck Tom Holland Spider-Man looks. Jesus. Oh, God damn it.
And then Venom goes, him. Like he has some sort of like connection to this dude who, as far as we know, they've never met. So like, what? What? It doesn't make sense.
Flicking the screen because he sees a teenage boy on it. Like, get your fucking R. Kelly ass out of here. God damn.
You better not pee on that boy. Yeah, and
he licks the screen just like, I want to piss on you.
I'm gonna piss on that boy.
I'm gonna piss on that boy. Make more sense than the shit he did say. He's like, something about this guy. What, Venom? What? Is
right?
Did we need the wink to the audience? Of the which I thought they were when he mentioned the Hive. I'm like, oh shit, they're gonna do the only thing they have left to do, and that's doing Null. That's the only other thing they unless they bring in like the other lethal protectors, they fuck around and do anti-venom or some shit. So many other things, like in terms of logical upscaling.
The thing
Go ahead.
The thing I really need the Venom movies to do is to get away from the symbiote stuff and then let Venom be actually Venom. It makes no sense. For going back to the movie, it makes no sense to have Carnage, literally a serial killer, and not show him doing what he does. Not on screen. Not on screen.
God,
and I
God
love
forbid
Woody
we
Harrelson.
Want to see the serial killer kill.
Right. And I like Woody Harrelson a lot. I think he's a fantastic actor. Mm-hmm. I don't think he was a good Cletus Cassidy. I felt like there are stronger choices that they could have gone with to really highlight the sadistic nature of Cletus Cassidy, his lunacy. I feel like he could have a good script, but he's not my ideal Cletus Cassidy. Personally.
Yeah, but like also his age just makes no fucking sense because Woody Harrelson is what, 60? And then they showed him as a child. Is like, when was this? The fucking 40s? Sorry, not the 40s.
Like we all 70s? Know what Woody Harrelson. We know what Woody Harrelson looked like in the 90s. Like, if y'all gonna try to pull some shit like that on us, at least do the de-aging thing and pretend. Like, at least try to entertain us. Try to entertain the fact that that.
Like, look,
we know what this man looks like.
Yeah, him and Naomi Harris. Sure, I can suspend my disbelief to see that in modern times. But if you expect me to believe they're around the same age at the same time, you're off your goddamn rocker. Like, look, Woody Harrelson looks good for his age, yes.
Yeah.
But like, look, let's not mince words. He's not close to Tom Hardy in age.
Oh no.
This is a seasoned veteran in the series. Look, he's been killing since Eddie Brock was in diapers by this measure,
Right. And I feel like this movie...
The movie has a fundamental issue. Eddie Brock does not have a character.
I was literally about to say that. I'm like, I still don't know who this guy is. They spent so much time with them arguing. We don't know who he is as a person.
We do not. We don't know his interests. We don't know. The only thing we know is that he wants to fuck Anne.
He wants to fuck Anne. He's a reporter who's bad at his job because Venom has to do it for him. And then he somehow is able to afford this apartment.
Yeah, somehow.
Also,
I guess they totally... The Bugle now. He's a shitty investigative reporter, which was like the antithesis of what he was in the first movie, where he was just a shitty reporter because he stuck his nose in where it didn't... God damn it.
Also, I think the biggest offense this movie commits, in my eyes, is that they spend so much time with them as the odd couple, like screw you, I don't need you, and then they split up. And two things are wrong with that. One, Eddie's supposed to feel like he needs Venom. Like when he's not with him, it's like drug withdrawals. So like he's kind of fucked up when he doesn't have him. Two, this Venom was just like body hopping like it was nothing. He goes first. He's like, I want to protect people. I want to do this. Rada rada rada, and then immediately goes to just use people's bodies and murder them in the process. Like just murder a string of people all over town. But also, the movie never illustrates why Venom and Eddie are good partners for one another. They never illustrate why they're the perfect pair. They're just like, oh, and we're just
exactly.
And they didn't do it in the first movie. They didn't do it in this movie. I'm like,
oh, they
did.
You
have to explain that with me.
No,
I'm like, that's like the basic character 101.
that was what they were supposed to show, of Venom constantly body hopping, but notice how like none of the hosts stayed because they weren't good pairs, except for Mrs. Chang, but that was more so for comedic effect. That wasn't for like long term. So that one kind of gets a pass. But
I
like
think
exactly what you said, it doesn't show why they're a good pair. But also, and like here's the Eddie, they should need one another, and that's why they're the arc, even though it'd be retreading the exact same shit as the first goddamn movie, should be, it's like, hey, we can beat Carnage because we pair well together, versus motherfucker who's crazy and my offspring who have two rather straightforward but still innately different goals. So I'm also salty
feel like
that Scream didn't get her symbiote so we could see yellow Naomi Harris. That's just for the
that'd
freak
been
in me.
cool.
But yeah, that would have been, which I'm still holding fingers crossed that she survived getting that bell dropped on her. But whatever. Like, I wouldn't
What they
mind seeing her
should have
again.
done, if they were going to lean into the romantic aspect of Eddie and Venom, I think what they could have done is illustrate why they were together, what makes them strong together when they are apart. You can still do the breakup thing, but like when Venom's trying out new bodies, quote unquote, it could be like the equivalent of Venom like speed dating and realizing like these people aren't the right partners for him. And like they don't have anything in common. So you're just like, oh, okay. And then just like they end up finding their way back and like show why Eddie needs Venom. Like, how does Venom improve Eddie's life, and how does Venom and vice versa? How does Eddie improve Venom's life? How does Venom improve Eddie's life?
It's like, if you're leading into the comedy element, that would have been fun. Like, imagine somebody, especially in California, like, no offense, man, but all the weirdos out there, somebody'd be talking to themselves, and it'd be like, ooh, I don't like the way this guy thinks, or I don't like her taste in food. It's like, or like, ooh, a vegan? Ew. And then he hops off. Like, that prime opportunity for comedy. Exactly what you said. Venom fucking body hopping. Yeah, Venom. Like Venom body hopping like speed dating. And then Eddie tries to do his own adjustment and realizing that he feels and that could have been a character moment for Eddie, of him realizing that part of his issue is he has dependency issues. Why things didn't work out with Anne, but things did work better with Venom. So he needs Venom. No, that could at least have been a motivation. And then you add in the whole thing of like, oh, Anne's in danger from one of the shittiest kidnappers ever. And, blah, blah, so on and so forth. It's like, it's like that at least gives Eddie some shit to do.
Yeah, show how convenient he is in his life. Like have Eddie like do some stupid shit. Like he breaks his arm and then like Venom's not there to heal it. Like
and he just has to deal with it.
Right.
Like he fucks up, slips, like busts his nose or some shit. Like, just the ramifications of a life without the loved one, where you realize that, hey, like a love story, there are things that my partner has that I don't have. But that would require Eddie to have a fucking personality.
Right. Or like, it's like a classic trope, but like I think it could have been funny, like having Eddie and Venom go to therapy. I think that could be fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, that'd be so good. Oh, god damn it. And the weird thing is, I don't hate this movie. I'm frustrated, especially performance-wise, because like when we had talked about before, everyone's trying in this movie to various effects. Like they're working the best with what they've got. The story partially written by Tom Hardy. I guess it shows. But like I don't hate this movie. It's just frustrating because of all the adjacent Spider-Man characters to give films. Like Venom was never a good pick because so much of his character foundation is intrinsically tied to both Peter Parker and Spider-Man. And so unless you have a strong foundation of identity for how you're going to write this character with entire separation from like how he's recognized from people, you don't have a good foundation for a series. And they never established that. Like here's the thing. Everyone's trying, like Anna Williams isn't fucking sleepwalking like she is through the last one. I can see effort, like Naomi Harris and who's old boy playing Carnage?
What's his name? And Woody
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson. Yeah, like they're chewing the fuck out the scenery, and I think it's hilarious. Like effects are solid for the most part. There's like interesting shots every now and then and shit like that, but it's just like these movies will always forever struggle because they can't do bare minimums of intriguing storytelling elements. And I feel bad that Andy Serkis got drafted to pull this because he's a smart guy. He's a talented guy. I don't have issues with the direction of this movie. It's just the direction of this concept has nowhere to go. Like, sadly, unless, would be interesting. Imagine fucking a wasted opportunity. Fuck Venom constantly fighting symbiotes from ever and ever. Have him fight some other Spider-Man villains. Who gives a shit? Like, what's his name? Nando V Movies, the fucking maestro of great ideas. no cap. He has fantastic ideas every time.
Yeah.
The dude, I don't think I've ever heard him miss once. I'm like, no, yeah, your version is just better. Even the things I like, he makes them better. So it's like, have him fight, fuck it. Alistair Smythe. They're not gonna do shit with Alistair Smythe.
Right.
Have him fight Rhino. Fuck it. Craven. I don't give a shit. Big Wheel. Frog. I don't give a fuck. Use some of those rando villains that you're never gonna touch.
Hydro Man.
Hydro Man. Who cares? Who gives a good goddamn? Make up some new. Have them fight Shocker.
Fuck it.
You used them for what? 10 seconds in Homecoming? Bam, new Shocker. Have them fight Black Cat. I don't give a fuck. Have them fight some Spider-Man villains. You ain't doing shit with them.
Right.
You're like, we want to do our Sinister Six movie. Well, you only got 6. Spider-Man got 11 of them niggas. Pick somebody. God damn.
Right.
Spider-Man got an entire rogues gallery. You know what would be more interesting to me, instead of seeing Toby and Andrew, as much as I love them in Far From Home, have Venom fight 2 Green Goblins. Yeah, that's right. I goddamn said it. Have him fight Willem Dafoe and what was his name? Andrew from
Andrew Dafoe.
Fucking Dane DeHaan and Willem Dafoe and fuck it. Throw what's his name? James, what's his face? In there too.
Franco.
1 Venom, 3 goblins. I know how this movie ends. It's tentacles and booty holes. I don't give a shit. Do something else. Do something else. You can't do goddamn shit with the symbiotes. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a fuck about the black goo tentacle monster unless it's fucking Eddie. You don't have the balls to do that shit. Clearly, you don't have the balls to make a comic book rom-com. So do something else. Do something that no one would expect. Go balls to the wall. Fuck it. Have him fight Morbius. Who cares about Morbius? Who's getting offended?
Okay.
All 6 of those Morbius fans?
I think he should fight Noel. Cast Gary Oldman is Noel. There you go. That's your third movie.
Cool. Do it. Do it, you nerds, because here's what's going to happen after your little Venom trilogy. Nothing. Nothing happens. Because there's nothing else to do with Venom. It'd be more interesting than that. More interesting than the movie we got. Have him fight the one from Spider-Man 3. There you go. Venom versus Venom.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, he died, but yeah, I mean, fuck it, bring him back. Multiverse, bitch.
They're bringing back Doc Ock. He died. They're bringing back Green Goblin. He died. Clearly, rules don't matter. Clearly, death is not an obstacle. Death is just a suggestion in these movies.
Right.
There is no rules when the magic is involved. Have them. Yeah. I don't care. And then with that post-credit scene, it makes my head hurt.
It's telling me.
It's a Jesus Christ. Would I like to see Tom Holland fight Tom Hardy as Spider-Man Venom? Yes. Yes, I do.
I don't think it'll make sense, but I'm with it. Like, I'll watch it, of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
it's I never had a problem with Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. I think he's fine casting. They got the hair wrong. It's always going to forever irk me because I'm a stickler about hair colors, but whatever. Sure, fine, whatever.
Wait, do you really want to see blonde Tom Hardy? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I said it.
I don't need that.
Care.
I don't need that in my life. I don't need that in my life.
He's been bald.
Yeah, but I don't need to see him blonde.
It doesn't have to be
like blonde hair, blue-eyed Tom Hardy. Do we want
this? It doesn't have to be blonde. It can be dirty blonde. You can pull off a dirty blonde.
Tom Hardy.
Could
pull off Tom Hardy and Tom Hardy and Jonathan Majors are in a contest for luscious lips.
Yes,
they go fight. Gang versus Venom.
Half naked luscious lip fight. Titties out. Master hand. No items.
Titties out. Master hand.
Final destination. Master hand. No items.
The moistest of the moist shall survive.
Moist of the moist boys. No, it's just.
Fuck it. We're going balls off the walls. We're gonna have Tom Hardy Venom fight fucking Bane. Fuck it.
Why not?
Tom Hardy Bane versus Tom Hardy Venom.
Who cares? Sure, because they didn't get Bane right too. If you want to get technical, so why not? Since we're fucking up characters, sure. Why not have two characters that for some reason have Tom Hardy attached? Here's the weird thing: Tom Hardy is not the problem with these. I think he's fine. I enjoy Tom Hardy as Eddie Brock. I think he could do justice to the character. I think the problem is that everything Sony does, the Spider-Man adjacent characters, seems cynical. It doesn't seem genuine. Like, as much as I'll make jokes and jabs at DC, even like Zack Snyder, I can tell there's a modicum of like, hey, we want to try with this. No, they're doing weird shit, and it feels authentic. Like, Birds of Prey may not have been, my favorite movie or the strongest movie, but I can see where they were trying. I can see where the effort was. I look at and they're getting better at it. They're getting better at it. But we know what it is. We know what it has a name, and its name is Avi Arad. It just is, and we know it. And as long as his name continues to be attached to these properties, it will continue to be a problem. And I feel so sad because I think we could be getting something great. Matter of fact, I feel like I know we could. Like, even if Kevin Feige just said, hey, this one is not related to the MCU, but I'm just going to lend a hand to Venom, the movie would be way different.
Maybe in the third incarnation. We're finally getting a good Batman, a well-shot understanding of the character of Batman. Maybe we'll understand Venom on the third try. Maybe they'll understand Spider-Man on the fourth try.
God damn. Not the fourth try. Jesus Christ.
Try. Maybe when Tom Holland switches universes, maybe they'll finally get the right Spider-Man. Because when he comes over to the Sonyverse, it's definitely going to be a soft reboot for sure. Because Tom Holland just said that they viewed making this movie as the end of the Homecoming trilogy, the Homecoming franchise. So whatever they do next, it's about to be brand new.
Which it's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, buddy, that's what trilogy means. There's only 3. Yeah, right. It's like, Tom, we know. We've been new. You didn't have to tell us. We're just trying not to think about the inevitable day that comes of Doctor Strange? Steven? What's going on? Aunt May? MJ? Anyone? Screaming, and then fucking Falcon and Scorpion and Venom step out from the shadows like, this is the guy. This is him right here. oh gosh, oh geez, what am I gonna do? And then just like cut to black. Like
jeez.
we're gonna have to deal with that day.
Yeah.
Uncle Ben, Mr. Stark, I don't know what to do. Like that
Oh,
that
God.
day's coming, and I'm just trying to delay the inevitable. I'm trying not to think about it.
I hope it's not that. I hope those words aren't uttered out of his mouth. I don't need that in my life.
What this the malicious sounds that sound like Tom Holland is just going 1v6.
Oh, no. Where's that tentacle going? Oh God. I miss Mr. Stark. Oh no.
God damn it.
Oh, not in there. Right in the web shooter.
Nothing just sound like a bad Rick and Morty episode.
Oh jeez.
Jeez. Yeah, I guess before we go to our last topic, you want to direct Venom 3.
Who do I want to direct Venom 3?
I say J.J. Abrams. Give him a challenge.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, give him a challenge.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
Yeah, you do. You do. What, you want to see J.J. Abrams Venom 3? Specifically 3? It has lens flares off of every... Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. Okay. Yeah, no. Wait. Before you give your thoughts, we got to talk about that bullshit. Why was there a direct reference to Amazing Spider-Man 2 in here? Arguably one of the better scenes in that movie. What? Like, at the time, it didn't bother me. Now it bothers me. Just...
It more perplexed me when I saw it than bothered me. I was like, we just stealing shots from Amazing Spider-Man 2? Like literally the same diagonal shot of Gwen being lent down the tower and then her losing her grip and then falling down the tower. And I was like, what? Are they shameless? Are they? Yeah, is this a reference or is this a ripoff? I don't know. Like, what are you trying to say here? What are you trying to do?
Like, is it a ripoff if you rip off yourself? Which like I actually hold that scene in pretty high regard. I think that's one of the
self-plagiarism.
Yeah, like I think that's one of the better scenes in that movie. Like, say what you will.
Agreed.
The acting and the way it's shot and shown is very, very highly emotional. Like, okay, but like in Venom, it just feels removed. It feels like look, the movie's not great. I admit this as a notorious Tassim defender. Not great. Has its couple moments, like one of the arguably one of the best swinging, one of the best suits. It's a very good like moment in an otherwise rough movie. Why?
I still like it. I like Jamie Foxx Electro. I'll say that.
I think he's entertaining. I don't know why people take umbrage with the whole like a Tesla coil itsy bitsy spider thing. I'm like, I mean, it has some weird villains. They do weird shit. That's pretty comic booky.
You know what?
I thought it was fun.
Was it a little goofy to have Electro's thoughts in the Times Square scene as the music's playing, integrated into the music? Maybe, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. They lied to me. He tried to kill me. Spider-Man is my enemy. I was like, what is happening?
Oh no, man! I do know that because I have a copy of Turn Off the Dark. We'll have to give that a watch sometime because goddamn.
Oh, dude, we need to watch that.
Yeah, like oh man! As soon as I said reflection,
audio commentary, Turn Off the Dark.
Right. It popped in my head. I'm like reflective lens Venom, and then it just like all came together. Like didn't bother me, and exactly like you, I was thoroughly perplexed, and I'm still perplexed. But now I'm a little bothered because I'm like. What was the point? What was
right?
Because it wasn't to get an emotional response. Because I like that whole sequence. Like I didn't feel like she was in any real danger. Look, if she died, then I legitimately would have been surprised. I'd be like, oh fuck, well that wasn't how the storytelling of the cinematography was leading.
Right.
It was very clearly.
She didn't die. I don't think I would care very much. They didn't really do anything to make me care.
Oh, she just appeared as this She just shows up, makes Eddie feel bad because she's actually a person that has dreams that we don't know, and moves on with her life. Becomes this disturbing sex fantasy that I need to lock within the darkest chambers of my mind, and then goes back to human again and gets kidnapped. Those are the three things that Anne has contributed across two movies. She talks to Eddie, gives him a pep talk, is the transferring device for Venom on two separate occasions because it made me feel weird things the first time, and yep, same effect the second time. I'm like, I don't like what this does to me. Stop bringing it up. I don't like talking about it. Which, again, I would have forgiven it if it also happened to Naomi Harris. For the price of one, like double the trouble. Like, fuck it. Yeah, let's get weird. Give me yellow, weird, tentacly Naomi Harris. You cowards! You didn't have the balls to do it.
I mean, they killed her with a bell, so I don't think we're gonna get that now.
I don't think she's dead. Didn't see a body.
She fell from a tower. My God.
So hey, look,
fuck it. It's a comic book movie. Fuck it.
Yeah, niggas have survived worse. To be fair, fucking Carnage's death almost didn't make sense. I was confused. Yeah, because Venom had all those beams dropped on him. He's like, ugh, I don't think we can beat this guy. I'm like, really, bitch? Wood? This is what kills you?
Right.
That was some silly ass shit.
No, it was really some silly ass shit. Carnage hacking the internet. No, not even him hacking the internet. Let's just go through how that scene starts, shall we? He steals a car. He then goes to a gas station, jumps out of his car, not to get gas. Oh no. He goes into the gas station, beats the shit out of the clerk, who just happens to, for some reason, have a laptop at the counter. What was he doing as he was working at a gas station with his laptop? I don't fucking know. Proceeds to beat the shit out of this man until he's dead, and then hacks into this laptop. How did he know he had a laptop at a gas station? What the fuck was that about? Who told him that's Greg's gonna be in at 3 p.m. with his laptop like he does every day. Steal that shit, hack into that shit right quick. Bitch, what? This movie has some really stupid shit. And granted, okay, I know New Rockstars covered this, and they were like, yeah, that Carnage scene with the laptop, that's straight from the comics. You know what I say? I don't give a fuck. That shit is still stupid. It's even dumber, the fact that it's from the comic books. Right, I'm like, okay.
The weirdest thing is, like, that's not everything that you listed is somehow dumber than the fact that that's ripped straight from the comic. Somehow, everything you talked about that led up to Carnage hacks the internet, like, I'll give it that much grace. Okay, that's from the comic. Explain everything that led up to that you just pointed out, Aaron.
Like, because you just got out of prison.
That makes it worse. Because everything leading up to that makes no sense.
And goes to a gas station to beat a man to death for his laptop, where he shouldn't have a laptop in the first place. How did you know?
Why are you on your laptop? It's your job. Maybe he's taking night classes at the local community college.
In the day?
God damn. I tried to save him.
In the middle of the
day? Look, Carnage can start a car engine. Okay. Carnage hacks the internet. It induces a brain aneurysm, but sure, let it pass. But
as cheesy as this whole movie was, the line when he was like, "Let there be carnage," I was like, "Oh God, oh God, where's my drink? Where's my waiter, bartender? Pour me up."
Actually, I think I know for a fact I had an alcoholic milkshake while drinking. See, fuck.
As you should have. Yeah, as you should have.
I'm not gonna go through this whole movie entirely sober.
Hope you got a second.
I should have. I damn well should have, but I had to drive home. But God, fuck. But as much as we're ragging on this movie, I don't hate the movie. It's just really.
I don't hate it either.
Stupid. like like I don't hate it. It's just a stupid movie. I like
It's
it
a
better than the
stupid
first
movie.
one. Like the problem with the first one is that it's boring. This one, I at
Yeah.
least feel something.
This
Now,
movie is the epitome of dumb fun. It is
Yeah.
like the abridged, edited the shit down version of some better movie that's out there in another universe.
like I'll say this much. Didn't feel like my time was entirely wasted.
No, I can say
It's
that.
less than 2 hours. I'm like, oh, it's barely barely 90 minutes. I'm like, look, thank you. Thank you, Andy Serkis, for at least having the decency to cut this down to a watchable time where I don't feel like I have to suffer. I didn't feel any suffering throughout this movie. A lot of things happened on that screen. Now, whether or not they made sense, that's an entirely different discussion. We're not here to talk about that. I sat down, drank my beverage, I ate my pizza, I watched a bunch of random bullshit effects go across a screen. I watched Woody Harrelson and Naomi Harris chew scenery for about 30 minutes, and I watched Tom Hardy talk to himself for the better part of an hour and a half. Okay.
Right.
That happened. And then I had the most bewildering fucking post-credit scene I've seen in years that just ignited a type of disappointed fury. I didn't know I could have those type of complex emotions, but here it was a rage built out of disappointment, not out of shock. Like anger is a secondary emotion. This was built out of just sheer disappointment in knowing, like, it's not so much knowing that where this was going, because we all knew where this was going. A confirmation of knowing exactly where this is going just builds a fire inside of you. And I have no one else to point this rage towards other than Avi Arad. And I say that as someone who would love to be in a Spider-Man movie. Oh, I'd kill. I'd fight for that. Like I'd do some shit to be in a Spider-Man movie. But if we're gonna be critical, I'm a being a critical motherfucker. I'm not even pulling Amy Pascal into this one. It's just him.
It's just him.
I feel like if he was removed from the project, we probably would have got some real interesting shit. Probably some real heartwarming shit. You know what? Who knows? We could have got fucking Andy Serkis's epic, Venom, Let There Be Carnage, the psychological deconstruction of the woes of being an abused person in America. We could have gotten the midpoint between Joker and fucking. It could have been like 50% Taxi Driver, 50% 13 going on 30. That could have been the movie we didn't even know we fucking needed. But that goddamn producer just has to stick his fingers in everything and throw the toys at each other. Now we have this. So before we move on, Aaron, who would you like to direct Venom 3? I said J.J. Abrams.
You said J.J. Abrams.
I did. Because
in an ideal world, you know who I'd want to do Venom 3? Did you ever see that indie movie with Ryan Reynolds called The Voices?
Oh my God, I've been thinking about that movie all week. I love that movie. No one talks about it.
That guy should do Venom 3.
No, why not? Who was the guy that did that movie? Yeah, that movie had been crossing my mind. I'm like, does anyone remember The Voices? Which is it
was a girl. It was a lady. Oh, Marjane Satrapi.
Yeah, oh my God, Marjane Satrapi?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. She has an autobiography. God damn. No, she's great. Book Persepolis is a comic autobiography about her life and experiences being an Iranian who then moves to France. Is a fantastic graphic novel. So I've read it twice. I had to read it for school, but it's so good. It's somewhere on my shelf, actually. Fucking fantastic. Yeah. You know what? Fuck JJ. Marjane Satrapi for Venom 3. Let's make it happen. Because God damn is she talented.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? The Voices isn't even that groundbreaking of a movie. It's pretty straightforward, and I like The Voices. It's not an amazing film, but hey, have an Iranian woman doing a fucking like split personality romance. It's something.
Yeah,
A
it's
split
something.
personality action romance. It's more than I mean, look, we're functioning with less than the bare minimum. At least give a woman a chance to, like a Middle Eastern woman, a chance to give her take on it. You ain't got shit to lose. Make money. It's Venom. Bigger, blacker Spider-Man.
Damn straight.
This movie do at the box office.
Bigger, blacker, baby.
Jesus Christ. Made its budget back. Damn it. We gotta stop. We gotta stop supporting films, my man.
Stop supporting films.
The budget was 110. Its box office was 285. It's not even through the month. It hasn't finished its run. It's
wow. It's killing.
We may have to.
We have to boycott Venom 3.
Yeah, we do. We do.
We can't keep supporting this. We can't keep shitting on these movies and then giving it our money.
Yeah, next Venom is getting streamed illegally.
We're like, we're like those girls that talk shit about their toxic boyfriends and then still like continue to sleep with them. Right.
Look, yeah, if you want to get me back in the movie. Venom ain't shit. I ain't gonna fuck with Venom. Shit. I don't give a fuck who in there. Marjane Satrapi directs Venom 3.
Oh hey baby. I'll see you later. I'll see you tonight at 10. Yes, Daddy.
Oh, where you going? What? Huh?
What?
Girl, I'm just going out. You're not going to see that nigga, are you?
No.
What? Crazy.
Girl, you crazy.
And while on the story, me and Venom fucking booed up under the sheets. All you see is like these black ass hands, like it's Wizard Kelly or some shit. Big ass tendrils and claws. It's just like, he leave me spoiled. Oh baby, I be wilding out sometimes. I'm sorry, Tom Hardy. I ain't mean to do you like that, boo.
Girl, he ain't that bad.
He ain't even that bad. Girl, he ain't even got Spider-Man in him. He don't got Spider-Man in him yet. I don't know what he got.
He don't got Spider-Man in him, but he got Venom in me.
Oh shit. Okay. All right, let's talk about this last fucking topic and get out of here.
Yes, sir.
So let's get controversial.
Woo.
After talking shit for 30 minutes, let's
hurt some feelings.
Yeah.
No, we ain't gonna hurt some feelings.
I sure hope not, because damn, this is gonna be a rough one for me to figure out how to talk about. So a certain Mr. Dave Chappelle dropped a special recently called The Closer. You tried to watch it 3-4 times before finally getting through it for various reasons.
I tried like 4 different times to watch this movie. I finally did it. I finally made it through. Not for lack of interest. It's just
circumstances.
I mean, maybe no, but not lack of interest. I'll be okay. I guess I'm gonna get into it.
Yeah, which spoilers for a comedy special? I don't fucking know.
Spoilers? I guess.
I don't know.
I'll start with saying that though I love Dave Chappelle's other specials, I think this man is hilarious. Yeah. That being said, controversy or not, whether you like Dave Chappelle or not, or I mean, no, if you like Dave Chappelle, I think this was his weakest special. Not because it made me upset, but because I don't think I feel like he put the least amount of care in this one. This one felt the most like him just bitching for an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And like granted, he's telling stories along that bitching to like illustrate points, but not all the jokes landed. And I feel like usually he's a master of his craft. And I felt like it was him whining about being attacked, and then while also kind of being a little in certain parts masturbating his own ego a little bit.
Mhm.
And those parts didn't really work for me. He did say some things that I understand people be offended by.
Mhm.
And you know, I will say that I think with anything, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. Granted, what you say is important, but how you say it really affects how people will perceive it. And I feel like some of the things he said within that special didn't exactly lend itself enough either in the realm of, I feel like he painted a lot of things within a specific lens, which painted it, which made it great. Granted, catered it towards the jokes he's wanted to tell, but I feel like what makes certain jokes funny or his type of comedy is a basis in truth. And I feel like because I was aware of a broader spectrum of how things can be perceived, like for example, like him talking about his issue isn't with trans people, it's with white people and like white trans people seemingly. But I'm like, you know, there's trans people of every race, right? And I feel like he made the issue of trans synonymous with just white versus black. And I'm like, it's more complex than that. I guess the comedy special, but because it was painted through that lens, kind of skewing itself not in a place of reality, it made it not as funny to me.
Yep. Yeah.
What are your thoughts, sir?
I have complicated feelings with it. Like I again, I love comedy. I love comedy of all types. I like clean comedy. I like dirty comedy. I like offensive jokes. I like offensive jokes. You know, it depends on how the joke is delivered. And Dave is a smart guy. And I think Dave is one of the, like, Dave is a living legend. One of the few. He's in that place where I think the best comparison I've heard is comparing him to Carlin, where if you follow his career, you can kind of see the evolution. Now, I'll say this: his first two specials, Live in DC and Killing Them Softly, I still think are on like the Mount Rushmore of comedy specials, because I know the shit is good if I can repeat the joke word for word and still laugh, and I know the punchline. That's a different kind of funny. Of his specials with Netflix, this is on the lower caliber for pretty much all of the reasons you said. What's weird about this special in particular is I can tell Dave does research to kind of craft the jokes he does. And there are a couple jokes I think like went over people's heads. Like the Space Jews jokes is clearly an allegory for the conflict in Israel and Palestine, but you also have to have knowledge of like the root cause of that conflict and the longevity of it to kind of be able to kind of set a joke up for that. I think the better version of that joke, and it's a joke that has a great punchline that can only work once, and it was in his first Netflix special. It was the Cosby joke. Which, unfortunately, because I'm such a Chappelle fan, I had heard that joke about a year and a half prior from people that'll like record comedy shows. There's actually a slightly different version of that joke where he goes, and then Bill Cosby pulled my bloomers down, and then he goes, bloomers, and since then bloomers has just been an inside joke with a couple friends of mine. So I think that one has like a fantastic setup, but it's a punchline you can only use once to someone who doesn't know it, because then you're just like, oh, okay, so it's a Cosby joke.
Yeah, I don't think Space Jews ever landed for me. Like even with the awareness, I was just like, I don't think that was funny. It felt more corny to me than funny. I was like, is he doing a dad joke?
It's like what? I think the second time it didn't land for me. The first time. What brought I think I need to rewatch it, but what brought the laugh for me the first time watching the special is because the things that I think people find offensive, I can sometimes find humorous because I find comedy in absurdity. So
Yeah.
every now and then, if it's a joke that's offensive to different parties, be it racist, be it homophobic, it depends on the intent, because the absurdity of it is, oh, that's funny because no one should actually do or think like that.
Right.
That is how I find inoffensive comedy humorous, is the absurdity of like the statement or the punchline being made. The problem with a lot of the jokes, specifically with how heavily focused this was on, and I think you pointed it out exactly, is that Dave did do a lot of research for this one, because this is the first time, I'd say, outside of certain political spaces that I have ever, and fucking Tumblr, that I've ever heard anyone in the more mainstream know what a fucking turf is, and also like to the point of being able to attempt to make a joke about it, but also like Dave uh contradicts himself in a way, his own stance of, because I'll say this much, um do I think Dave doesn't like trans people? I actually don't. However, that does not excuse him having transphobic jokes that clearly did not land with members of the community. And the reason, I think, is also, as you pointed out, I think here's what the real crux of it is. He's trying to make something black and white that is, you can do black and white with race issues, because those are like literal points. Can't, and even still, you have to still like circumnavigate the fact that other races exist. um you can't really do black and white when it comes to gender and sexuality, because there's like
Right.
such a range of interpretation, and because it's such like pressing matter. And like you pointed out, Eve wasn't really specific with him speaking to the pressing matters of like the joke will lose its thunder, or its like overwhelming impact, if you're coming out and being very, very specific, because he's talking about a very, very specific group of people. Like if you talk about Karens, people know the exact type of person you're talking about. You're talking about somebody who's like a very entitled, self-aggrandizing, disrespectful white woman. But if you say trans women are after me, or the trans community is after me, that is a swath of people of various backgrounds, like ethnically, socioeconomically, socially, even like sexuality wise. There's trans lesbians out there, there's trans bisexuals, there's trans straight people, there's trans black people, and kind of what makes it worse is that, because black community, we're both black men, but you know it's there's a weird duality of the relationship of black people to like the history of LGBTQ rights, because as much as we are cogs in the machine of promoting homophobia and transphobia, a lot of the greatest figureheads in those communities are black people.
Right.
So, like a lot of people that have championed the cause, if you're talking about your Marsha P. Johnsons or your Bayard Rustins, who walked with Dr. King on the March on Washington. He was a black gay socialist who actually got arrested for having, I think, a threesome in a car. The fact that he wasn't killed for that is alarming. But he was originally, I believe, supposed to lead the March on Washington. So there's a lot of very important figureheads in queer history who are black, and also black and trans, that have fought for civil rights historically, which that also goes back to the joke he was making of like, I miss the old gays, when they were like, he's talking about those kinds of people, but it's like he's not being specific. And I think the core issue is that it's hard. You have to really try and be very good at what you do, and put a lot of effort to make intersectional concepts funny. Because if you
Yeah.
break it down to the bare bones of just like this community, which already land well, like if he's talking about a a selfish, racist, entitled person that tries to, you know, hide their bigotry underneath their gender identity just because it may be a bit non-conforming, some quote unquote traditional standards. You gotta make the joke better, man. What it comes down to is that the jokes, you know, I think there were a couple all right jokes in there. I think I actually quite like the story with Daphne. I think that's one of the stronger bits of the special is his bit at the end. But I think
no, continue.
I was just saying there's just like I think him, like, there are some a couple solid jokes, like actually one of the ones that I thought was, I think a lot of his jokes, they have good setups, but the punchlines are kind of weak. Like Clifford the big red nigger, just like I like the setup. I thought the setup was funny, and then he gets to the.
I thought some of the callbacks were funny.
Yeah, like the
callbacks were funny than the initial joke.
Yeah, well, I didn't think the Space News one was, because like that one felt weird with that callback, and I'm just like,
no, are the one that one of the ones that got
the Clifford callback I did think worked.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was talking about more specifically about that one. But like,
yeah,
I think two jokes that actually got me that I feel like people were offended by was like when he was like, I could tell they're gay. They had 80s gay face.
See, like, yeah. So like, I thought that one like might have worked a little bit better. I know a lot of people.
Or did that one not work for you?
Oh, no, that one actually kind of worked for me. The one I'm struggling with is oh my god, I don't want to piss off my friends. Beet juice joke. He said it's beyond pussy.
Yeah.
Like okay. I think it's a bad joke with a good delivery. I think that's what it is.
There we go.
I think the delivery of it is what entices the reaction, because like if one of my friends were to say that, I'd be like, oh dude, that's kind of fucked up. But
yeah,
I think Dave because Dave knows how he's seasoned. He knows how to deliver a joke, even if, like, you know, doesn't always land. I can admit a good delivery is a good delivery. So I think it's a pretty, you know, rough joke with a solid delivery, and I think that's what kind of entices the response, because I'm listening to it, I'm like, fuck, okay, all right, god damn it, I wasn't, because you're not expecting that one. Like, but yeah,
because it comes right after the J.K. Rowling thing.
Yeah, and and what makes it rough is that, like,
so a lot of people have been mad about that one, that he said that.
Yeah,
I'm not within the community. I'm not within like the zeitgeist of like the backlash. So I don't really know what has been upsetting people specifically. I know in the special he said that one's going to piss people off, and then lo and behold, it did.
And the whole like team turf thing, because it's like being a trans exclusionary radical, which again, that was a moment that really kind of caught me off guard. I'm like, you had to do a lot of research to this, but he like it. Dave did a lot of research. I don't think he, at least from the way I'm interpreting it from the special, I don't think he did fully enough. Because like he completely fumbles the difference between gender and sex. He says, you know, because that's why he says he's team turf, because he believes that gender is real. It's like what he's talking about in that moment is biological sex, which no one is debating that's real. Everyone knows that is real. That's the whole chromosomal thing that we're talking about at that point. Or if you're talking about like the present, sex is real. Yes, we trans people also agree that sex is real. That's how we're talking about that, Dave. We're not talking about that. So it's like, I believe that gender's real. And it's like, well, okay, that's talking about different things here. And so you're using that as the foundation for a belief that's like you didn't do enough. You do enough, Dave. You know, it's just,
you know where I think that with the special, granted, it would have still gotten backlash, but I think a stronger place for him to have ended it was the line after where he's ended the Daphne story. Or we was talking to Daphne's son, and you said, I knew your father, and she was a great woman. I feel like if that was the final line, like that would have been a good ending. But he kept going. A good
ending point. And again, like you said, still would have caused issues. But it's like, yeah, the humor comes because of the dichotomy and the unexpectedness of that. You know, that's where the laugh is supposed to come from. So it's like, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, this is a really contentious special, and it's mostly had to stay quiet on it and really trying to take an ear to listening to what reaction is, because I mean it's a way to leave an impact. Like I think it is worth an assessment if a community comes out and says, "Oh, dude, that's not cool." It's definitely worth at least taking a re-examination towards, and I'm glad that he's kind of staying away from this topic for the future. Because I don't think Dave is beyond being educated, you know, and learning more about things. I think it's, especially in this era, the kind of approach to it. But also, he's a rich dude. He has access to more resources than I can even fathom. No,
right.
He could have hit up Glad and asked and talked to actual Black trans people, specifically Black trans women. He could have called up other Black trans women comedians. It certainly exists. I mean, you know, I don't know how she may react,
For
but
what?
like Flame
For
Monroe
what
is
for what purpose would he have done that though?
I would say to get a better understanding of their experience to better craft these jokes. Or to at least,
what do you think his objective? Okay, okay, to better craft these jokes, but that, given that, and for him to do that, what do you think his objective was?
The special or for the jokes?
His, obviously the jokes are to make people laugh, but for the special,
yeah.
What do you feel like his objective was for the special?
The objective for the special just seemed like he was venting. It just felt like venting frustration for a predominancy of it, and like venting frustration with like actually one of the jokes I thought that was stronger was the Me Too joke. I actually thought that joke was pretty solid. I like that. I thought that was fun, even though I could kind of tell where it was going, but I'm just like, no, but okay, I can see where his issue is. Like that one I think works a little bit more effectively than a lot of the other jokes, because I don't know if he had as much of the nuance as maybe but I think a lot of the special just seemed like him venting his frustrations with a lot of the current responses to his previous jokes, and almost like, you know, it's I was like, what are you mad about? I'm trying. And it's like, well, Dave, it's you know, it's like that. It's like being the person saying, I don't care, but still making a response. It clearly signifies that you care. That's
Right.
kind of what the special kind of felt like to me.
I felt like, yeah, because I feel like he wants the trans community to know that he's not against them, that he doesn't hate trans people. But I feel like he's also frustrated because he did say that he's been hearing that he's transphobic for the past 16 years, which if you had to put yourself in someone's shoes, that's a long time to be hearing an opinion that is contrary to what you believe.
Right.
About opinion about yourself contrary to what you believe. So I understand why and where he's coming from the special, but I feel like maybe it lacks a little self-awareness, because like I think he's to the point because he considers himself the great, or like other people consider him the great. He's like, I can just talk about whatever I want to. So I'm gonna craft jokes complaining and bitching about this thing that I'm mad about, rather than like crafting a special, because it wasn't. I feel like the other two specials had like commentary about society and like the things that were going on, and then infusing humor into those things, where this was solely about his experience being attacked by a specific community. And I feel like because this one was called The Closer, I felt like he was telling jokes, but his intention was also to complain while also maybe in part making an homage to old school forms of comedy that were less sensitive, but and also not to piss off everybody, but I feel like he didn't care. That it felt like he was
I
informed
don't
but
think he
didn't
did.
care. Yeah, which is pretty evident from the way that he ended it.
Yeah,
But
and go ahead.
I feel like that's why I feel like it was a care. Granted, despite the fact that it was written, it was a careless special.
Yes,
Though I think certain things were funny. Like, don't get me wrong, even though one joke I didn't find that funny, that I didn't find funny, though I felt was more mean spirited, was like the daughter joke, where he was like, what was it? Where she was like, she's transgender, and is like, what did he say? Like the daughter had like a beefy Joe Rogan neck or some shit like that.
Oh yeah, it's just like.
I was like, okay, you're just saying it. I was just like, that's
It's
not really funny. It's not really clever.
Yeah, it's just like it's especially having.
I feel like his delivery was off. What?
Like having been around, and I guess as a minor like transition point, because a lot of the backlash has been, at least from what I've heard, about the harm in which certain rhetorics kind of can do to a community, even from a comedic standpoint, which again, I think it's because it doesn't, this special and a lot of these jokes don't contain as much nuance or cleverness as like a bit would. Like having hung around, trans women, the concept of passing is something that not all, but in my personal experience, a lot of trans women are very, very self-conscious of. So it's kind of like it's I think a joke he's made in another special, like, yeah, just looking for hairy knuckles and Adam's apple, and it's like, dude, okay. It's like yes, you can. It's not a clever joke because it just kind of feels like a jab at someone's insecurities.
Yeah,
But it's just kind of like
I think that's what it was.
It doesn't land as well because it's just like if somebody had vitiligo, it's like, oh, better, or like eczema, it's like, you better watch out for them and their dry patchy skin, like okay. And just like I guess for comparison's sake, if we're talking about like offensive humor, like, have you ever seen Eddie Murphy's Delirious or Raw?
Yeah.
Like there are some horrendous homophobic jokes in there, but those seem like the times in which I've found the humor in them, again, from the absurdist lens, because I know that that's not right. And I know that gay people aren't like that. But those seem more like clearly ignorant and uninformed,
Right.
and like clearly based off stereotypes. Like he had the joke in Raw about, he said, oh, the gay guys were coming for me after my last special. He said, I heard him coming in the police car. There wasn't even a siren. It was just a guy on top of the car going, woo, 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 woo. And it's just like, again, not the best joke, but because Eddie Murphy's funny, he knows how to deliver a joke well. And I would argue that in terms of reaction, that one probably works better because it doesn't seem as like bitter. No?
Yeah, no. I feel like a lot of them are coming from like a bitter place. Like, you guys hit me, I'm about to hit you back.
Yeah, and it's just, and he tried to almost clear it up with the whole like define like the punch down and punching across. Like I'm not saying you can't have jokes about marginalized people. You can. People make black jokes all the time. People make gay jokes, trans jokes. People in those communities make jokes. There's comedians of every single fucking background that also kind of make jabs at their own communities. Like Mateo Lane is a gay comedian. He's so fucking funny. Like Flame Monroe, trans comedian, fucking hilarious, like mad funny. And she also like makes jokes about her own identity. I'm not saying you have to kind of stay in your own lane or you can only joke about these certain things, but it's just like you just can't have your personal feelings interjecting with the joke. So if people are telling you that,
I feel like that's all what comedy is, your personal feelings and anecdotes. So like, I don't know if that's a fair statement to make, but
Okay.
there has to be more nuance for sure.
Yeah,
'Cause I feel like,
I should rephrase it to that. There, you gotta, yeah, you have to have more nuance and understanding. Because, like, think if Dave like knew more about that, he could. I'm not saying that he can't do offensive jokes about people. I am saying that I think he could make more clever jokes. So it's
right.
like
Yeah.
doesn't feel like a punch down. Like if he's making a joke like potentially about you know the struggles of passing it. It's like, but they shouldn't have to worry about that anyway. They're still women. It's like, okay, yeah. So there's kind of like an acknowledgement and like a payoff with that, because like it's acknowledging. It's like, oh, it's something that it's like it might be something that I see, but it doesn't invalidate them being women. No, like and I'm not saying that has to be the punchline, but it's just like the I think what at the end comes of it is that notion of punching down and kind of that him. I think him almost feigning intelligence, but still saying things that are still very, very clearly ignorant, and at points kind of against himself. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
it's like-
Yeah, the special definitely has problems. I don't think it's
yeah.
his strongest special by far, but
No.
at the end of the day, I still laughed, and I hope that he stays true to what he was saying, doesn't really touch on this stuff anymore.
Yeah. I'd encourage him to like continue talking to other, like queer comedians and just kind of getting there. Like, I mean, yeah, talk to queer people and get the perspective. But it's like people that are also comedians. They'll tell you how to like fix the jokes. That's like, I think a big part of it. But also, it's just like I a part of it, and I guess we should also kind of talk about the fallout, because have you heard about like the strike or the walkout that's going to happen at Netflix in a couple days?
Oh no, I did not.
Yeah, so
Because people want them to take Dave Chappelle's special off of Netflix. Is that what that was about?
because Netflix's responses have been kind of weird, because it's just like, oh, we're a platform that hosts all sorts of different content, some that and we have all these great shows like Sex Education. And it's almost it's kind of like you're using your more affirming properties as like a prop to combat people's claims of Dave being transphobic. I don't think is a particularly strong argument.
I do also think that
Hmm.
so even though I think some of his jokes are nuanced, I feel that there are certain things within it, because like, for example, how we talked about after Daphne was defending him, that it was the implication of it was that she was bullied to the point where she committed suicide.
Right.
And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just like a generally online thing, but I feel like I don't know if it's like the loudest voices get the most attention sort of thing, or if just the amount of outrage from people is just that large. But I don't know if canceling or taking down every single piece of offensive media is like the correct way of justice. I don't know if that speaks for true justice,
Right.
in my opinion.
Because it doesn't untell the jokes, and
No.
I don't think it teaches Dave. So yeah, and I've been kind of split on it, because like at the end of the day, you find it offensive, you find it offensive. Whatever
Right.
feelings you have towards the special are completely valid. That everybody's gonna have like different opinions, especially when you're getting in the realm of like comedy as an art form and so on and so forth. But it's like on one hand, I understand that comedy is an art form that is a method of expression. I can also kind of understand from the experience of trans people that speak to ways in which, excuse me.
Yeah, and I also feel that there is a lot of people, and I think more than just the trans community will get outraged or upset about something without knowing the context or having witnessed the piece of thing or the piece of media or thing that they were upset about in the first place. Because just like, oh, don't watch that, it's trash. You're like, why? Because you said this, this, and this. Oh, what? Oh, hell no. Da da da. Like, oh, and that person's like, oh, don't watch this. Da da da. And before you know it, a lot of people, whatever group of outrage there are, hasn't even gotten a full context for what they're upset about.
Yeah.
And I feel like that, again, it applies to more than just the trans community. It applies to people in the Black community. Like, it applies to liberals. It applies to most communities, and I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think that canceling everything is a solution. It's a band.
And I think, and I give credit to a guy I follow, the Conscious Lee, who stated he was a Chappelle fan, but he is also very outspoken on his advocacy for like education regarding civil rights, including queer rights. And so he's like, look, I watched the special, and I also want to break down why a lot of the rhetoric that Dave was giving. And he's just a Black cis man. He's a teacher, So he's like, I want to break down why the stuff in it is offensive. And I'm like, that can could be used as a tool of like talking about why a lot of this rhetoric is wrong or dangerous or harmful to members of the community, as some people have expressed. But like I feel in a weird place about it, because like I think it's important to not like glorify things that are going to be harmful, but I kind of understand where you're coming from, and to an extent I agree. That's like taking it down will not undo the damage. I think what kind of has to be done, and really now for Dave, this is going to be on himself, because like he's rich. Look, he got paid and went home. Like at this point, everything after it, positive or negative, is free publicity for the special. I think what should ensue, and yeah, if you want to have to walk out for Netflix, if you want to protest Netflix, completely on your rights. You should be allowed to do that. If you think this is disgusting and gross and extremely morally reprehensible, and you're like, I'm no longer going to support them, absolutely do that shit. Send a message. Tell them what for. Do that shit. I think what may be helpful for people that don't have that insight, because I'm not going to like act like I'm some sort of expert on all of queer and trans people's experiences. I'm not in that community. That's why I'm trying to like do a lot more listening on the matter. But it's like, I think what can be additionally helpful is people that are willing to have those conversations, be they cis people, be they members of the community or whatever, just talking about it's like, hey, here's why some of those things aren't, is like making sure that you're separating like the joke from the reality of the situation, and why some people may see this as harmful or why they may see it as rude or offensive. Like some things are pretty clear cut. So like, one of the examples I've seen is a lot of people goes like, oh, well, what if a white guy made a racist joke? And it's like, well, is it a good joke? And I think that's one of the things, like, just jokes just aren't landed in this special, because Dave seems like he's venting here. It's not his usual method of like telling a joke where he usually has a sprinkle of wisdom. And he does have a couple things in here that I think bring him interesting points. Yeah. I think it gets drowned out because he spends like, it's like a 1 hour special. He spends like 45 minutes going back to the train. And like, I remember watching the special. I'm like, oh, Dave, leave him alone, man. I'm like, Dave, bro, they don't give a shit about you. They're trying to live, I talk to trans people. They're like, look, I just want to be able to exist, be left alone, and like be respected by my family. Like, people won't call them by their fucking names, bro. I can't get the bare minimum of respect. Like, they don't give a Like they don't give a damn about Dave, and now this might be causing more issues. Like, God damn, what a shitty way to like
Mm,
start your week, you know? It's like you're just out here trying to
yeah.
vibe and exist, and then Dave's like, I take umbrage with some people. It's probably like he's taking an issue with like you pointed out, along with like the quote unquote cancel culture people. It's really a vocal minority in a minority.
Yeah.
You
100%.
know, like the like you said, the people that are the loudest. It's probably not that many, but also like you said, as he pointed out, it's something that stuck with him and probably just bothered him because I think Dave probably is the type that tries not to judge people based off of their background, but based off of the content of their character. Because he even pointed out, and we were chilling when we tried to watch it again. Um, whole thing with the North Carolina bathroom bill, which is a shit stupid bill, and that's one of the jokes where I think because he does a little better with the nuance and the delivery, I think it works, you know, a little bit better than some of the other jokes. And I gotta
Yeah.
say that it wasn't offensive, but I'm just saying as a joke, it works a little bit better. You know, of him talking about like because he's pointing out the absurdity in the bill. Um, but it's
No, yeah. I do think it's a
the
clever joke.
yeah, so it's just like the whole special and the whole situation with everything is just it's complicated. No, I'm not gonna act like an expert because it wasn't a situation where my feelings in particular got hurt, but I can sympathize to an extent to people that did feel a way about it because I can understand. It's like, yeah, yeah, there are transphobic jokes in there, just like you could watch, you know, a Louis C.K. special or some shit. It's like, and there are like racist jokes. It's like I agree with you. I don't know if taking it down is a solution. I think discussing, like making sure we just discuss and dissuade negative and harmful rhetoric is probably more so important now. Um, and I think people have to kind of be willing to listen. I think the hard thing is it shouldn't be mandated that like trans people have to kind of justify their own existence on in the response to like a fucking comedy special. It's like you're here, you're human. Congrats.
Having the
What's your
human
name?
experience.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like again, I think Dave was trying to get to that at the end, but it kind of gets somewhat undercut with what he was saying earlier. So
Message is a little muddled.
yeah, and so I think Dave is like a lot of people where he's trying to learn. I think clearly he's trying to learn, but I don't think he is going like the full tilt in it. And I don't expect Dave to like come out and be like, you know, I'm a socialist, you know, tomorrow or some shit. I think it's just a matter of like doing some of the things that he was doing, like sitting down and having conversations with these people, which is something that he does. Like I give Dave that much credit. He does sit down and like talk to people of different backgrounds, of different cultures. Even at the if you watch through the credits, like he has photos of protests, including a sign that specifically says Black Trans Lives Matter. So it's like I said earlier, like, do I think he's a transphobe? No, but did he make some transphobic jokes? Yeah, like objectively. So it's like, so yeah, he's definitely a little ignorant, and I think it just showcased a lot more in this special. It was not one of his, you know, stronger suits, and I think it's you know it's a learning moment. It just kind of sucks that this potentially has negative ramifications on an actual community, and it shouldn't. No, I think that's kind of unfair, but I think there has to. This shouldn't. I don't want the fallout from all of this to like stoke uh arguments. It should, you know, breed conversations of like wanting to be informed about those experiences, like, you know, because like I think the bathroom shit leans way more than like the turf shit. Like I'd be kind of off put if someone listened to the whole turf bit. It was like, J.K. Rowling, she's a trans. It's like, well, I guess I'm team turf, and then someone in the crowd is like, yeah, so am I. It's like, don't go to Dave Chappelle for your advice on gender and sexuality politics. Like, look, he's a comedian, an entertainer. He never proclaimed to be any of these things. Just your own.
Let these entertainers entertain. They're not voices of righteousness. They're not like official sources,
Yeah, he's a stand-up comedian who lives in Ohio. He's speaking from his perspective and his experience. He's not the best barometer of, and this is actually I had a similar criticism out of one of his earlier specials about like a point he had made, and someone's like, yeah, it was the point about him saying you couldn't say the F slur, but you could say the M word, and she's like, well, David, you can't say that because you're not gay. He's like, well, I'm not a nigger either, and it's like, wow, that's so profound. It's like, it's not really that deep, It sounds deep because it's coming from the chuckle man, but like it's a pretty straightforward point. It's just like, hey, shouldn't say things that are mean, regardless of whether or not we're in those communities or not. It's I don't know. I'm taking it as a chance to learn and listen to people. I usually, like, even when I make jokes, I've done stand up once.
Oh,
so I don't know and I've definitely thought about it multiple times, but it's definitely like, it's definitely just me taking a chance. Like, I want to know what other people have to say on the matter. So I like before the show, I was listening to, go over to Head Nerds in Charge page. He's the Kurt over there, the head nerd in charge, does an interview. He does 2 interviews actually with Black trans women comedians who discuss the special, what they liked, what they didn't like, and I'm like, yeah, listen to that type shit. Like these because he's older Black cis guy who's also a comedian. So there's 4 comedians just talk. Like, I've heard Andrew Schultz's take on it. I've heard Hassan's take on it. I've heard white trans women's takes on it, but I really kind of want to hear what like Black trans people have to say on the matter, because I think that's where it kind of hits the hardest, because he keeps missing the part. It's like, yeah, but Dave, there's Black trans people too, Dave. They're not just fictional. So I just say, if you watch the special, cool. If you didn't watch it, also cool. But if you don't want to support Netflix, just watch it illegally, form your own opinion, and then follow up by understanding different people's perspectives on the matter as to why something may be interpreted the way it did. If a white comedian, went out and made a lot of Black jokes, if it was like Gary Owens or some shit, it's like, well, first of all, were the jokes funny? If we found them offensive, let's talk about why they're offensive. Let's make this a learning experience for people. Don't use comedians as the barometers of morality and knowledge. Don't do that. Just don't. Just a rule of life. Don't. I love comedians. I always will. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Talk to people with those experiences as they are comfortable. Check in with them. Check in with your friends. Make sure they're doing well.
Amen.
You got any other last thoughts? We squirrel out of here.
No. No, I have no thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Well, all right, man. Guess that'll be the end of the show. My man, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at The Real Aaron Alexander. And on TikTok at Aaron Alexander 64.
Oh yeah. Those links should also be in the description. If you're looking for me, your host, you can find me on my YouTube as well as my Instagram, both at Will the Greatest. Make sure you can also find the show's Instagram page at Atlas Comics Elite, where I usually post the updates of the new episodes. Usually includes a couple topics. We'll see. We can the show have some interesting conversation discussions. I got a couple people and ideas in mind, so that'll be interesting and exciting. But yeah, make sure you like the show and share the show and follow the show and rate the show. Thumbs up, 5 stars everywhere you listen to the show. Let your friends know about the show and comment where you can comment with the hashtag AskAce with a question, and we'll try and answer it live just for you, like we do. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for us this week. We will see y'all in the next one, because I go edit this. So y'all be great to one another, and I'll catch you next time.
Deuces.